floor to warm up first. One, two, and... Oh. It's fine. Let's buy a new one later. Nina! Do you hear the waves? It's almost time for our act.
Let's begin your reading. From Aquarius to Pisces. I have sand in my shoes.
I guess we'll make today a leg day. If the water's nice and cold, maybe I should take a swim. Learning to rest is also a part of training.
No matter how wild the waves are, I can cut through them. Ahead I'll go, like a swallow flying across the sea. This isn't exactly the right place for a vacation. I know I'm on vacation, but I can't help but feel anxious. Hello, I'm Tsubame Tachibana. I'm currently on vacation. I hope I don't get arrested for wearing a swimsuit. I can feel eyes on me. What are you looking at? Should I slice you like a watermelon? Oh, would you like a slice? Is that not enough?
Seafood is a good source of protein. How about some herring for dinner? How about this one?
I want to catch a big one.
Learning to rest is also a part of training. Exercising releases endorphins, which elevate your mood, so the next time you're feeling down, why not do some training with me? I guess we'll make today a leg day. Gotta get my protein.
Knock knock. Hello?
Feels strange to be here.
Time to get crafting.
Tell me where to go.
Where will our destiny guide us? Let's take some time to watch the sky. If Aquarius is an air sign and not a water sign, shouldn't it be called Aries instead? Always be grateful for what we get. Time to wait.
This summer will be without regrets if it's with Nina. It's only a vacation when it's with Nina. All right, Nina. We can go for a splash. This summer is truly complete with you, Nina. Our Nina, isn't she adorable? The snorkel suits her perfectly. Still, I'm glad Nina seems refreshed. 1, 2, and... Oh. It's fine. Let's buy a new one later. Nina, it seems we'll be riding a boat together with this group.
You know how to swim?
It feels frustrating to go home like this. There is proper etiquette when it comes to tea, did you know?
everything changes. Impermanence is the law of all things. The tea is still warm, but I doubt this silence will last. As silence deepens, vigilance must rise. Don't let the regret linger. This is a battle of life and death. The blade of my sword holds my intent. My steps follow the path of justice. This was not swung upon. This was built bit by bit. Even if the trail I leave behind fades, the shadow it casts will always remain. That's why I won't be forgotten so easily.
Have you ever longed to go back in time? They say time flies like an arrow. I wouldn't know. If you saw what I've become, what would you say? It's time to set time in motion again. You're not using me. I'm the one using you. You have my thanks, but I suggest you stop wasting my time. I must hold tight to fading memories, lest they slip away. My resolve was sealed long ago. Only I could glimpse that smile, just once more.
It's my turn. I see. Soft, sharp. Time for the climax. Watch and learn from the queen. Where are your manners? Nice try. You almost...
What memories can we make today? I hope I can remember this day forever. Another good memory. I hope today is fun. You think I'm too much for my age? What do you mean? I'll keep the memory of today always.
Want to come to the shore with me? I came here alone today. What should I split open next? I really want to show this to Natty.
Do you like looking at the ocean at night? If a big wave comes, it's best to step aside. You should have been more careful. Is there something on my face? Oh, you weren't looking at my face. Did you enjoy our summer by the sea?
Making money while doing what you love. Ain't that the best job ever? Let's not mix business with emotions, all right? I could smash things with this. Ever thought about working with me? Hole in one. You want to run later or walk now? Do you like it? Where do you think you're going? Water always does the trick. Feels good. Ugh, stench is stabbing my nose. Ah, the smell of capitalism. The best. Feels good. It's better to learn economic concepts early on. You really recommended me the best vacation spot. Ah, there you are, my client.
Don't come any closer.
Let's not mix business with emotions, all right? I don't like going door to door.
Let's call it here. Bye. Phew. Next time, I'll come with Maddie. Shh. It's a secret between us. The sun's still as hot as ever. I should show this off to Maddie. I think I get it now. Why people come here. What should I split open next? I wish Nadia could see my plushie.
Let's take a moment to regroup.
I'm sure this hotel used to be full of people.
Questioning the obvious. That's where it all begins. Time to get to work. A vacation. I've forgotten what that even feels like. Do I really look that intimidating? I get that a lot. Let's see if my card still works. Get up. The experiment isn't over yet.
Where did you come from? It's dangerous outside.
May this moment pass without regret.
Huh? What happened? I have to move quickly. Hello? I'm ready to draw. I've heard people say, the world is your canvas. But then, I see those same people get in trouble for spray painting their name on the side of a building. something for you next time.
Out of the way. This body is gonna start now.
It's so hard. I never wanted this.
Any maggots hiding around here?
Engaging detection mode.
Neither man nor machine.
Only madness. Weapon system upgrade.
All is done. Only destruction remains! Some learn with their heads. I learn. All right, let's do this. I have transcended the frailty of man. Huh. Too puny to even register.
Guess I'm a natural, huh?
Don't even think about stopping me! Running experiments in a dump like this?
Don't shoot. I'm with the science team. Neo will remember that. Win or lose, we play. Always believe in the comeback. My character needs some buffs. Group up, group up. Thank you.
Just wait for a bit. I'll be there soon.
I'll head there first.
Wish I had some rich friends.
Come on, give me a cool pose.
Bum ba ba bum. The winner, Nia.
Nina, remember to warm up first. One, two, and... Oh. It's fine. Let's buy a new one later. Nina! Did you hear the waves? It's almost time for our act.
Let's begin your reading. From Aquarius to Pisces. I have sand in my shoes.
I guess we'll make today a leg day. If the water's nice and cold, maybe I should take a swim. Learning to rest is also a part of training.
No matter how wild the waves are, I can cut through them. Ahead I'll go, like a swallow flying across the sea. This isn't exactly the right place for a vacation. I know I'm on vacation, but I can't help but feel anxious. Hello, I'm Tsubame Tachibana. I'm currently on vacation. I hope I don't get arrested for wearing a swimsuit. I can feel eyes on me. What are you looking at? Should I slice you like a watermelon? Oh, would you like a slice? Is that not enough?
Seafood is a good source of protein. How about some herring for dinner? How about this one?
I want to catch a big one.
Learning to rest is also a part of training. Exercising releases endorphins, which elevate your mood, so next time you're feeling down, why not do some training with me? I guess we'll make today a leg day. Gotta get my protein.
Knock knock. Hello?
Feels strange to be here.
Time to get crafting.
Tell me where to go.
Where will our destiny guide us? Let's take some time to watch the sky. If Aquarius is an air sign and not a water sign, shouldn't it be called Aries instead? Always be grateful for what we get. Time to wait.
This summer will be without regrets if it's with Nina. It's only a vacation when it's with Nina. All right, Nina. We can go for a splash. This summer is truly complete with you, Nina. Our Nina, isn't she adorable? The snorkel suits her perfectly. Still, I'm glad Nina seems refreshed. 1, 2, and... Oh. It's fine. Let's buy a new one later. Nina, it seems we'll be riding a boat together with this group.
You know how to swim?
It feels frustrating to go home like this.
There is proper etiquette when it comes to tea, did you know? Everything changes. Impermanence is the law of all things. The tea is still warm, but I doubt this silence will last. As silence deepens, vigilance must rise. Don't let the regret linger. This is a battle of life and death. The blade of my sword holds my intent. My steps follow the path of justice. This was not swung upon. This was built bit by bit. Even if the trail I leave behind fades, the shadow it casts will always remain. That's why I won't be forgotten so easily.
Have you ever longed to go back in time? They say time flies like an arrow. I wouldn't know. If you saw what I've become, what would you say? It's time to set time in motion again. You're not using me. I'm the one using you. You have my thanks, but I suggest you stop wasting my time. I must hold tight to fading memories, lest they slip away. My resolve was sealed long ago. Only I could glimpse that smile, just once more.
It's my turn. I see. Soft, sharp. Time for the climax. Watch and learn from the queen. Where are your manners? Nice try. You almost...
What memories can we make today? I hope I can remember this day forever. Another good memory. I hope today is fun. You think I'm too much for my age? What do you mean? I'll keep the memory of today always.
Want to come to the shore with me? I came here alone today. What should I split open next? I really want to show this to Nadi. Do you like looking at the ocean at night? If a big wave comes, it's best to step aside. You should have been more careful. Is there something on my face? Oh, you weren't looking at my face. Did you enjoy our summer by the sea?
Making money while doing what you love. Ain't that the best job ever? Let's not mix business with emotions, all right? I could smash things with this. Ever thought about working with me? Hole in one. You want to run later or walk now? Do you like it? Where do you think you're going? Water always does the trick. Feels good. Ugh, stench is stabbing my nose. Ah, the smell of capitalism. The best.
And we are live! Hello! Welcome to the Season 9 Dev stream for Eternal Return. I am Wendy, aka Raven2, and yeah, it is always a great pleasure to meet you guys during the Dev stream I am joined here today with Raven1 and Wolf1 today, as always. And yeah, I think we can start by introducing our two devs here.
Hello, everyone. I'm Raven1 or 2. Not that it's important.
Yeah, it's not that important.
I'm glad to see everyone here today. Thank you for your time. We hope we can make your time worth it.
And also from Wolf1.
Hello, English-speaking players. Thanks for being with us again this season in Eternal Return. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, that's all of the introductions we have for today. And yeah, I think we can jump straight into the dev stream. I hope that we can show off some great changes and give you guys some great information today on the dev stream. With that being said, I think we can jump straight into the PPT for today. And yeah, I think we can change the screen. Oh, yeah. And also, we're going to show our faces today throughout the stream, too. So you guys can see that this stream is actually not pre-recorded. Okay, and with that being said, I'll pass the mic over to our Raven1 or the Raven2 and see how it goes.
First, we need to look back on the last season. Well, this time it's less of a review and more of a self-reflection as devs. Many players were disappointed, especially at the start of the season, and we felt it was important to acknowledge that. With that in mind, let's take a look to see how the season went. The theme of Season 8 was Splash, a summer concept featuring Tsubame, Chloe, Marcus, and Adina. The skins received a lot of praise. One drawback was that apart from Marcus, all of these characters were quite difficult to play. For players who started or returned to the game because of the skins, it was likely challenging to actually play the chosen characters. Normally, when popular skins are released, we see a significant rise in pick rates, but this season, the impact was a lot less noticeable. And on this PPT, we have Shailene and Henry. While Shailene was praised for her looks and personality, she drew criticism for staying overly strong during one of the most unbalanced periods of the season. Henry, on the other hand, stood out with his handsome looks and unique time-based concept, and gained player interest when the preview was released. But feedback noted that the concept of time could have been explored in a more engaging way, so we'll keep that in mind. And now let's talk about the actual token skins for Season 8. Tropical Dimensional Abigail captured the feeling of a refreshing summer and ranked among the top sellers of all skins to date. MAG, or Magnus, was designed with the cyberpunk theme, but even before release, feedback led us to improve the skin quality. We saw some feedback regarding Magnus and how it felt that there was less effort going into it, but that wasn't the case. Even before the improvement, the skin actually required one of the highest production fees for skins that we've made so far. We believe the large issue was the effects and animations did not fit with the concept, unfortunately, and we had to recreate the skin a bit too conservatively. But thankfully, after the improvements, the response has been much more positive. And this page shows some of the characters that were very controversial and particularly strong during the season due to character reworks. Out of the 10 reworks in Season 8, these 3 were by far the most controversial. As mentioned in the dev journal, one of the key issues was that we attempted too many changes at once, which made balancing a lot harder than it had to be. Another point of reflection is that we failed to build enough consensus with the players beforehand. Character reworks have consistently been one of the most talked about topics in the community surveys and discussions. Based on survey results, we've had internal discussions, and there will be some significant policy changes going forward. We'll go into more detail when we talk about the character adjustments for the upcoming season. Next, let's talk about the main features of Season 8, the Rifts. This was one of the most anticipated additions of the season. The idea was to eliminate third parties by creating battles exclusively between 2 teams. While this concept had meaningful impact, there was a lot of feedback that the entry system, and especially the visual aspect of it, was a little bit lacking. Alongside Rifts, we also introduced Warps, but they ended up being difficult to use effectively and failed to deliver the intended effect, so we eventually removed them. Finally, we had the Chronosphere. By introducing the final zones, the dynamic of endgames shifted significantly. Although certain areas like Chapel and Pond still create frustrating situations due to the terrain, overall we believe the Chronosphere was one of the more popular changes in Season 8. And next, we introduced revamped gadget system, which before was the gadgets from old item-based, but now it's point-based. and the old one had the RNG aspect, but now it's been removed. Overall, the point-based gadget system received positive feedback. The orbs, on the other hand, created new types of gameplay and some fun moments, but they also brought a fair share of negative feedback. Once players got used to the new system, it became very convenient, but there were also a lot of concerns about certain gadgets being unbalanced, awkward to use, or simply too difficult for beginners. The future direction of gadgets was actually the topic of our first dev journal, and we'll be sharing more details about the upcoming rework in Season 9. If there's one change that was loved by everyone, it's probably map adjustments and improvements. Many block paths were opened up for movements, leading up to more escape paths and interesting combat situations. We also reworked Wiccaline, its skill set became more diverse, and it no longer went down easily, which was originally positive, but also ended up causing a lot more third parties. For Season 9, Wiccaline's durability will be slightly reduced. As for Alpha and Omega buffs, the feedback itself was quite positive. The addition of unique reward not found in other objectives turned into a high-value target for teams confident in early fights, and gave last hitting actually more in-depth and more fun, similar to Wiccaline. For now, we plan to keep it as and continue on. Spoiler. There are also many changes to augments and items. These will continue to evolve moving forward. Though one in particular still has a relatively low pick rate, which was Power of Intimidation. Season 8 also introduced a variety of new item skills. For example, the turbulence effect on EOD boots proved meaningful for characters that stick closely to their targets. Ligadus was also used quite often, but we mostly believe it's because of the stats on the item rather than the actual effects. On the other hand, effects like Gap, Master, or Spot On have stricter conditions, which has kept their usage relatively low. And now we come to the most criticized change of the season, which was the adjustments to the cooldown system. Looking back, this was the biggest mistake of Season 8. The intention was for a long-term solution to the cooldown reduction cap in the game, but the timing was wrong, and implementing in Season 8 is something we deeply regret. Our initial rollout was overly safe with the cooldown numbers, and the fact that we couldn't deliver a hotfix sooner made the problem even worse. We also failed in communication. When we tried to convey that solving seems to be a faster and more suitable method for the solution, we made the mistake of saying things like, it's still better than before, and that's not something a dev team should ever say in that kind of situation, and I would like to apologize once again. This issue also highlighted the need to change how we communicate with the community. In response, we've shared dev journals and started surveys, and even made staffing changes on the communication side. Regarding team adjustment, we'll let you know more soon down the road. People also had a lot of criticism for the season collection system, and rightfully so. The system was one of the biggest failures in Season 8 as well, and players said it's an awkward business model that doesn't fit with the game, and the rewards are not enough. Well, they're actually correct. We originally did not plan for the season collection to be a BM system, and we still don't, but rather as a way to give bonus rewards for players that play the game very often. Right now, players can only get a max of 5 vouchers, which is also luck reliant, which has caused a lot of problems with the season collection. We're going to revamp the season collection by making sure players can get multiplied amounts of season vouchers just by playing the game more. Where getting first itself is going to give 5, and there will be more given for your placements if it's above 6th. And there will also be no longer limits to daily vouchers from playing. You also do not have to deal with opening every single voucher, as the vouchers you get from playing the game will be opened naturally instead of having to step into foraging.
Whoa, did they take a screenshot of my season fragment board? That's crazy.
And the mid-season update also introduced Lone Wolf, which was very hyped up from players, especially returning players. At launch, it was so popular that it actually even surpassed ranked at normal for a while. Over time, its position has settled side by side with Norms, Ranked, and Cobalt as the 4th mode, and thanks to all the players, it will remain as an event mode down the road as well. Season 8 also brought many quality of life improvements. In fact, every version has been adding 2 or 3 of these consistently. A few stand out in particular. The highlight effect for key items felt strange at first, but that's kind of hard to imagine playing without it. And the new lobby emote system has created fun and unexpected moments that became a hot topic in the community. Another feature was the live item suggestion, which shows when your teammates need certain materials. While useful, the downside was that it only appeared if you didn't have the material yourself, so sometimes players barely noticed it. For example, if you were aiming for a force core, you couldn't see when your teammates needed its components, like tree life or meteorite. Going forward, the system will be improved so you can see what materials your teammates need. We've taken a quick look at the major features of Season 8. Some were well received, while others brought strong feedback. Overall, though, Season 8 was undeniably a difficult season, both from an objective standpoint and within the team, where it led to a lot of reflection and tough discussions. The title here is a bit dramatic, and it's the nth failed season. Looking only at Season 8's metrics, it was simply worse than the previous season, but we've actually seen lower numbers before. But what really felt different and more serious this time was the sentiment from the community. The mood among the players has become heavier, and we feel that. So, where did we go wrong? Season 6, 7, and 8 all performed worse than previous. Season 8 in particular should have been a turning point with summer skins and large-scale changes, but it failed to deliver that upswing. For players who have supported us for so long, that was disappointing and exhausting. This season wasn't great, but the next will be better, and when that pattern repeats 3 times in a row, a lot of players lose hope. As a result, the way we've been communicating and making promises has started to lose its impact. We realized that what's needed now isn't just small adjustments, but a much bigger change. It's worth remembering, though, that Season 3, 4, and 5 saw consecutive growth in concurrent users. At that time, that success convinced us that we were on the right path. After the major failure of Season 2, our top priority became clear. We needed to ensure that every new season brought significant changes. But starting with Season 6, things stopped working the way we expected. We kept pushing for bigger and bigger changes, yet the results didn't follow. It was easy to point to individual features. Season 6 struggled because of VLS, Season 7 because of elimination prevention, and Season 8 because of cooldown reduction system. But each had its own problem. But after 3 disappointing seasons in a row, it became clear that the issue wasn't just one feature itself, it was something more fundamental. So what exactly was the deeper problem? It's not about the amount of change, but about the nature of the change. In Seasons 3, 4, and 5, most changes were expensive, like expansions, but not risky. Some were well received, some less so, but even if you didn't fully understand them, the core gameplay still worked. And if a feature turned out unpopular, like fog or cubes, we could simply scale it back or disable it. But Season 6, 7, and 8 were very different. Features like VLS and CDR were high-risk changes, the kind that could invalidate a player's time and effort. These weren't optionals, and players were forced to learn them. As a result of repeated risky changes, before players could even recover from the scars of one season's large changes, another disruptive change would arrive, and this cycle would easily cause fatigue within the players. So, for Season 9 and 10, we won't be shaking the foundation of gameplay. Instead, new content will be built on existing playstyles and offering creative variations. The overall amount of change will be a bit lighter compared to Season 8, but this is intentional. We want to focus more on stability, balance, bug fixes, and optimization, so that overall service quality improves. That doesn't mean we're abandoning innovation as well. Instead, we plan to bundle together major disruptive features and roll them all out at once. Season 1 was a great example. Players were willing to endure the balance adjustments because they were having fun exploring so many fresh mechanics at once. Going forward, you can expect certain seasons to be like Season 1, seasons of bold innovation, where we introduce multiple large-scale features together. To convert how we work, we will be making changes to the team itself. Recently, a number of projects in the industry have faced crises as their fan bases wavered. In some cases, that came from a foundation that was flawed from the very beginning, and one thing that we often say at Nimble Neuron is that if the first button is fast and wrong, it's hard to fix the rest. But it's also true that at one point, Eternal Return was complimented and cheered for by players, especially in our official release. So we believe that there is still a core vision that we can return to. And one of the feedback that we get is that it's just pure incapability within the dev team. And we understand. It's that efforts not leading to results a lot of the time, it's can be disappointing, and we are very apologetic every single time that we mess up. But the issue, we believe, is in selecting where we actually put the efforts, and to make sure that we can do the correct choice, we need stronger understanding of trends. But at the moment, the team formations and the organizations that we have isn't the best for that. So we still have passionate coworkers, with many being very capable and trendy. So we're going to make an internal change, which is the following. We're going to be shifting some teams and leadership to fit the new operation. Wolf 1 will be moving into a new role where he covers a lot more technical aspect of the game and operation, not the game, but sorry, operation, with the new team designated with other members moving into it, which is something that the company has lacked for a while. Wolf 3, a great guy who runs the KR stream, will be moving into the decision-making role for the gameplay. He wanted to participate in today's stream, but due to the long hours of last night's Korean stream and getting ready for this week as well as Season 9 patch, he has fallen sick, so you guys will be able to see him next opportunity instead. Truth is, the game has been under development for a while, and a lot of us have changed from when we started to now. For example, Wolf 1 was in his 30s when he originally started, but now he has a big 4 in his age. And even myself, it's been a very long time working and playing Eternal Return. To support this new formation of our company, we're also bringing in new blood to make sure to keep things fresh, with members moving into the technical team to support the company. 20 and 30% of game designers have changed. We had to pause company recruitments for a while, but recently we were lucky enough to able to recruit talented individuals recently. So we're hoping you guys are excited for the new members and cheer them on as well. With that said, here's a coupon offer from Wolf 1 himself. This change has been fairly large and emotional for a lot of us at the company, with him moving into a new team. And we'll know it'll be rocky at points with the new company layout. We've prepared a small gift, an emote. Whenever you come across anything in Eternal Return that really frustrates you, we hope this can help lighten the mood, at least just a little bit. New ideas often take a long time to make their way into the game, so even after this leadership change, it will take some time before you see results. Until then, whenever we stumble or make mistakes, we hope this emote can at least help take the edge off. And also, Wolf 3 has promised that he'll try his best to make sure there won't be an emote of him getting hit. And now, with the heavy part being changed, with being said, I'll pass the mic back to you.
Okay. I think I'll go on to continue with the dev stream. We talked a lot of kind of the heavy stuff, so yeah, we're really sorry that the previous seasons hasn't been up to par with what our community wanted, but we always want to make things better, and we will work hard to continue to make Eternal Return a better environment for everyone. So really, thank you everyone for sticking with us, and yeah, hopefully with the next season we will be able to bring you a better experience, more fun throughout the next year. And yeah, with that being said, I think we will move on to the next part of the PPT.
There
which
was
is gonna be
question regarding what happened to Wolf 2. Actually, Wolf 2 is still working with us. He participated in the first dev stream ever, and he will also be working with Wolf 1 in the same support team for the technical aspect.
Yeah, Wolf 2 has not gone into the dungeons yet, so keep an eye out for him too. Okay, yeah, with that being said, we will move on to some of the Season 9 changes. Finally, since we got over all of the kind of the heavy part, we will move into the more ara part of the stream now. Okay, yeah, with that being said, I think we can show you the first feature that we want to show you off for Season 9. And yeah, wait, where's the mouse? Taking back the mouse. Our first feature is gonna be Bori. actual Eternal Return gameplay.
Very, very cute.
Very, very cute. Yeah, the first thing we want to introduce in Season 9 is Bori. Bori is a little ferret from Aglaya's wildlife sector. And yeah, thankfully, he has become smarter from all of the VF density in Lumia Island and now has stolen some boxes too. And yeah, now it roams around the island, stuffing anything it likes into the box. Wait, my PPT isn't working. Just a sec. Yep. And yeah.
Also, people are saying that you don't hit the weasel. You don't hit Bori. You hit the box.
That is debatable, but we'll see on Lumia Island. Okay, yeah, with that being said, we'll actually give you a kind of a clear idea on how this feature works. So how Bori works is that you'll be able to encounter Bori on Lumia Island starting from night 2 up to night 4. And Bori is going to roam around the island about 3 to 5 times every match. And yeah, Bori will avoid most restricted areas, so you won't be able to find them in those areas. So, but what's special about Bori is that Bori's movements aren't usually fixed. So meeting him is like a special event, kind of like a special sudden event. And as they move, they also leave behind traces showing that they're nearby. So yeah, these are going to give you hints about, oh, is Bori nearby or all that stuff. So you'll be able to get a feeling about that. And after you locate Bori and attack their box, not the weasel, Bori is gonna panic and run, maybe hide inside it, or even abandon the box and run away. And from these boxes, you'll be able to obtain various tiers of Agalea gifts. So you'll be able to get more RNG items from Bori as well. But the thing that you have to be careful about is that when you hit these boxes and kind of intimidate Bori, it's going to make a lot of sound. So it's also going to alert nearby teams too. So you have to be careful about this too. So here are some of the gifts that we can see about all of the Bori movement. It is really cute, actually.
It's faster than Sylvia's bike.
Yeah, it's actually faster than Sylvia's bike too. And yeah, it is actually so cute. I think we have another video prepared here too. Let me see.
Oh, we'll show you what it looks like in game. Here's some of the animations. And you can hear these sounds as well.
God, so cute.
Bori is actually not visible within the minimap as well. So the audio will help locate it, and it'll be kind of exciting to see it and meet Bori in Lumia Island. It's actually very random.
Yeah. Oh, and I also see a very, very special comment here. So we're going to go back to this in just a second. Yeah, we can look at all these little animations from Bori. It is actually very interactive too. So we're really excited to show this kind of new kind of objective inside Lumia Island too. See, he's hitting the box. He's not hitting the weasel. He's not hitting the box. He's hitting the box. Okay, now let's go on to the next slide. Yeah, and here's the concept for Bori or Bori. And yeah, it's just really refreshing to see this kind of new type of objective on Lumia Island. And we're really happy to show off this kind of Bori's design due to just how charming Bori is too. And yeah, with that being said, I think we can show off a special something prepared too, because I saw in one of the comments, people were asking Bori plushie when. And we actually do have plushies ready because here, look at it. It's so cute.
It's cute, right?
Yeah, we actually have a Bori plushie too. And oh my god, why is it so?
We have a
bigger one.
So these aren't final, and these are still under development, and we're just trying to get what kind of merch we can make with them. So these are the only ones in the world so far.
Yeah,
but
we have the only two.
But we'll try to see what we can do with Bori as well. We're trying to get the box as well, and we'll let you guys know more when the merch is actually finished.
Yeah, looking at chat, everyone is really excited for these plushies. So yeah, I think with all of this good popularity, hopefully we can see Bori on all stores too. Okay, with that being said, I'll put Bori on my shoulder real quick, just in case it sticks. Let's see. Can you see it? Oh my god, we can see it. Nice. Okay, with that being said, I think we can continue with the dev stream. Yeah. We also have a special bonus sheet ready too. It's gonna be Irem's secret. Yeah, this one is a bonus slide, and here you have Irem with a giant box. And just like any cat, Irem just can't resist climbing inside. And Bori looks really sad because Bori just got their box taken away, and it even seems like Irem also took all of his food too. So Bori looks a bit sad, but it is the way of nature, you know. The strong eats the weak. It's such a sad cycle, but it is what it is. And yeah, I think that's all that we can show for Bori today. Oh, sorry, Bori. I think that's all we can show for Bori today. And yeah, we'll move on to the next feature that we're going to show off in Season 9. The next feature that we're going to show off is the auto-consumption system. So usually you would have the dine and dash augment, and when your HP falls below a set threshold, your food will be consumed automatically. And yeah, this feature was originally tied to the Dine and Dash augment, but we have decided to make it more sense as a convenience option available to everyone instead. And you can also customize it by setting special conditions for farming and actual combat separately. So it is actually very customizable per player as well. So we are going to keep Dine and Dash still as a remaining option to pick for augments. And we also added a new additional effect that provides defense after food consumption as well, which will make it an option for characters who need sustain during fights too. And oh, it looks like Bori doesn't like being on my shoulder, so I'll put them down for now. Sorry. Okay, yeah. So we also don't worry about any uncooked items like raw meat or frozen pizza getting consumed, because those are excluded from auto consumption as well. So you won't be wasting them by mistake. And yeah, let's go on to the next feature that we have prepared. It is going to be the dynamic restricted zones. So we believe that Eternal Return's core fun comes from farming up, engaging in combat, and winning in the end. But usually the combat part depends on a lot about how many teams are actually still alive on the map. So if too many teams are eliminated early, matches can feel very empty, and you might really see anyone until the very end, and that is usually not fun gameplay. And even surviving and winning until the end may not feel rewarding as it should be. So to fix this, we're going to be adding the dynamic restricted zone system, which means that if there are fewer surviving teams, an extra zone will close each phase to tighten the map and keep tensions high. So we believe that this process will also happen gradually rather than be very extreme, like 10 zones, just like 10 restricted zones appearing out of nowhere, so players don't feel overwhelmed by constant moving. So we will try and keep the balance and see how it goes, and we will pinpoint it towards the best experience that we can give to our players. So we believe that with this feature, even if these teams are eliminated quickly, the game will still maintain excitement and balance. And since there will be fewer teams with also smaller spaces, we will also be adjusting the objective spawns like air supply boxes to keep things balanced as well. Okay, with that being said, I think we can introduce our next feature, which is going to be, this one was something that we talked about in our previous step stream too. It is going to be the removal of SP. And yeah, we have been mentioning this throughout the last step stream as well, and we will be removing it as wholly in Season 9, along with drinks as well. So we did increase overall SP recovery during Season 8, so maybe it will not be that big of a difference compared to Season 8. But it is finally going to be removed as a whole feature in Season 9. And also drinks in boxes will now be replaced with normal items. So it will provide a bit of a more help during the farming period as well. So we are going to be removing drinks, but some drinks will be reworked into food too. So for example, we are going to be changing flower liquor from a beverage into food. So Lead Island's passive can still make use of it. And we also adjusted the duration of the buff to make up for the reduction of all of these items as well. So you'll also be able to see that too.
I see a lot of questions about 11. So
Oh, and we got you prepared. We got you prepared. So I know everyone is very, oh no, then what happens to 11? We thought of everything, because for 11, we're going to still make her 11 combo meal still craftable, but it's just the crafting will be a bit changed to now be bread and meat instead of cola, making it more easier to assemble. So you can actually say it's
Coke Zero.
Coke Zero. Okay, nice. Yeah, these are the reasons why we have achieved Unk status. Okay. With that being said, I think we can move on to the next feature that we're going to show off in the dev stream. Okay, next one we're going to show off is the new gadget for Season 9, which is going to be the Wind Zone Kit. So if you've normally seen the wind zones that appear during strong winds weather, it's basically that, but it's on a kind of a smaller scale, but you can bring it in as you wish. So what happens is when you deploy the wind zone kit, a small wind field will appear after a short delay, and moving in that direction of the wind will grant you a 15% movement speed boost. And since the zone is narrow, your team will have to kind of line up to fully benefit from it. So it will add a bit of a risk when it's, because you're lining up. But we believe that it will be useful for quickly rotating in areas like the chapel or research center, where you have those long corridors that you will have to go through. And also, it's also going to be useful in escaping danger or chasing down enemies too. So we believe that it has kind of a lot of versatility, so you'll be able to use it throughout Lumia Island as well. And yeah, so with this addition, we will be removing the explosive orb gadget, and because while that gadget was flashy, it often caused a lot of chaos in late game fights too. So for Season 9, we wanted to kind of add a kind of a different kind of tactical gimmick to Season 9. So yeah, this is our plan from now, and we're very happy to show off this new gadget too. So the gadgets as a feature as a whole is kind of a mechanic that we want to use to keep gameplay fresh. So if a gadget turns out to be kind of unfun or frustrating, we are ready to swap it back out. And we believe that if we keep adding these gadgets and build up enough variety, we will also be able to rotate gadgets mid-season too. So we can kind of give more of a dynamic feeling to each season, half season as well throughout time. And yeah, with that being said, I think we can move on to kind of the next one. So we want to continue to kind of talk about more of the gadget stuff, because this was actually not the first time that not the only gadget that we tested while we were preparing for Season 9. So here are some of the other gadgets that we were kind of preparing for Season 9. So the ones you see here is the Whirlpool gadget, the Lightning gadget, and the White Lily Orb. So the Whirlpool gadget was kind of struck quickly because it essentially gave too much. So what it did is it gave invulnerability during fights when placed in combat, which we realized wasn't really going to work because it was kind of too much for sometimes during combat. So this one was kind of dropped really quickly, but we went through more testing with the second gadget, which was the Lightning gadget. But even with warning indicators, we believe that it kind of felt awkward in both terms of balance and usability. So this one was also dropped during mid-development as well. But the third one was kind of interesting because we actually saw more potential in the last one, which was the White Lily Orb. So we kind of tested it a lot. We tested it extensively. We kind of adjusted the movement distance. We adjusted the timing. We kind of added the sound pings as well, like when it spawned. But since it could have a really big impact in fights, we didn't really have enough time to polish it fully. So it's not going to be included in Season 9's launch. But we do believe that this is going to be a very fun gadget if it's implemented correctly. So if there's enough curiosity in the community, I think we can maybe consider the possibility of adding the White Lily Orb as a limited time test for a few days in the preseason. And yeah, if the feedback is good, we'll keep refining it with the goal of officially releasing it. But currently, we're kind of debating on what we're going to do with it.
for that clip of the white lily, I've actually heard that it took a while to get it because the person filming it would fail the wall jump a few times. Yeah.
Honestly, I understand. I always try to jump these walls, like using the white lily. I always fail that once, and you get wiped, and it doesn't feel good. But yeah, it's part of a tournament. It is part of a tournament. You just can't help it. Okay, so yeah, putting him on blast. Wow, you just put one of our colleagues on blast. Okay. Yeah, with that being said, I think we can move on to the next feature. Yeah, we're really excited to show off all of these gadgets because when the gadgets were first introduced, we were kind of worried because we were not sure if we could provide a big roster. But as seasons go on, we're really happy that we'll be able to show off these new gadgets in the future too. And yeah, we'll move on to the next change. This one is actually pretty interesting too because it's something that I know a lot of players are very interested in. It's going to be changes to the map, Lumia Island changes. So yeah, we're always working on construction work on Lumia Island. We're looking to make new areas, make new changes. So yeah, we've actually made quite a few changes during this season as well. So what's going to work on here is the first one we want to introduce is the factory area. So the factory area has been expanded with the upper right section being opened up, and it gives players a larger space to explore and fight in. So from the outside, it looks like this. And if we look inside, we're going to show you a kind of like a blueprint on the next slide. You can see how the area has been reshaped. So let's see here. So yeah, if you see here, we can actually see like a blueprint of the changed area for factory. So there has been a big space added towards this kind of place. And we believe that it will give you more options to traverse through the factory because, you know, a lot of our players pass through this area because of the wolves there. And yeah. We're really happy to show these it's kind of small, but kind of good, small changes, the feel-good changes. And yeah, as Chat said, I can't wait to rat here. Okay, with that being said, we want to show you the next map change, which is going to be for, oh, never mind. We also want to show you off the new campfire below the factory as well.
It is technically the next map change.
Oh yeah, the next map change. It is the next map change. Yeah. I wasn't wrong. It should be a nice addition because we believe that since factory is just a big area, it's kind of a hassle going through factory to kind of cook food. But we believe that this one could also be like a small, good, feel-good change. And yeah, next map change, next area change. So the next one we want to show off is the chapel change. So what we have done is we made a change to the lower part of the building. So this one was kind of interesting because previously this area you can only cross this wall through the white lily that was placed on the corridor. But since now there's an open route, it introduces more variety in tactics. So we have removed the white lily along the wall, which is no longer available. But we believe that with this new change, we will be able to change chapel, which was usually more favorable for the defender part. We believe that since the layout is more opened up, it will also give attackers a more better chance to break in and fight. And yeah. Next change you wanted to show you off is the interior for the police station. And yeah, we also prepared a blueprint here for you to see too. So what happened is that previously the layout forced players to kind of circle around the whole station, but we believe that with this new change, you'll be able to give you more movement options. And yeah, we have just expanded a lot of more options significantly. So yeah, we believe that this will give you more variety and opportunities to move around, kind of like traverse through the police station since it's just surrounded by a lot of areas. So yeah, we believe that it's going to be very helpful. And that being said, we'll move on to the next change for Lumia Island. Yeah, and we also, this one is something that we do to a lot of our seasons. We're going to be adding a new spawn location for Tree of Life. And this one is going to be at Pond. And we did add locations like this previously, and we will be adding more locations like this over time as well. So this doesn't mean the total number of Tree of Life on the island is increasing, but it is going to give us more flexibility. So as time goes on, we will be able to rotate these kind of places as we move on to keep things fresh. So we believe that this pond location in particular should be really exciting because we will have a lot of situations where enemies are pushing in from both sides and others are controlling vision from the other side of the jump pad. So we believe that it's going to give us a lot of fun scenarios where people are going to be fighting over the objectives. And as chat says, yeah, Nimble Neuron is always eager to plant more trees to save the planet. So yeah, we'll be keep planting more trees and more locations. And yeah, with that being said, I think we can move on to the next one. Oh, this one is actually a pretty interesting change too. It's gonna be the addition of a new kiosk to the research center. And yeah, this one is very interesting because usually there's only the drones and you can only get like a drones and small credits from the research area rather than just rotating. But this one is actually gonna provide a lot of value to this area just as a whole. So we believe that it's going to be especially useful for teams coming from the cemetery side or just those teams that want a revival and are like VLSing into the research center. And there's also directly a jump pad below the kiosk. So there's an escape route that gives more flexibility as well. So the kiosk is only going to be able to be used before the fortnight because since after that research center becomes a restricted area, but if you really need it, you can jump to it. And yeah, we believe that it's going to be a resource that a lot of our players are going to be eager to use while rotating through this area. So yeah, we are really excited on how our users are gonna, how our players are gonna try and see how they utilize this small change as well. And yeah, so after that, that's gonna be all of the map changes for season 9. And yeah, we really want to introduce more map changes as seasons go on too. We're gonna talk about a bit more of that later in the PPT, but yeah, well, please keep your eyes out for the map changes as well. So the next one up, the next feature up is also going to be a kind of a feel-good change. We actually have a video prepared, so let's see that first. So yeah. Hey, can you hear the ambience? Can you hear the sounds?
Who is that?
Owl?
That's a hoot. I will see myself out.
Okay. I see one more person being replaced for Unk status. Okay. As you can see, yeah, those are new ambient sounds. So the island's wildlife has seen some changes. So on clear weather nights, owls are going to be more active throughout Lumia Island, and you'll be actually be able to hear their calls during the clear weather ambience. So it's not a direct change, but yeah, it adds like a kind of a fresh sensory layer throughout the gameplay. So yeah, it's just something emotional that enhances immersion. And yeah, we believe that these kind of atmospheric touches really help players feel even more connected to the game. And yeah, so it's a small change, but it's something that we believe that players will really appreciate because we've actually heard these during testing, and a lot of the feedback was really positive. So hopefully a lot of our players will really like it. Okay, with that being said, I think we'll move on to the next change, which is going to be, these ones are kind of a more bigger change. It's going to be the, oh, PPT's not working again. Yeah, it's going to be environmental object changes. So we also been shifting up some of the locations for kind of the objects for the environmental side too. So we've repositioned some of the plants that were underused or kind of awkward to interact because of the location. So for example, we've moved the bomb fruit here to kind of make them more easier to use, and we also moved the healing splatter in hotel to kind of be more usable near the kiosk as well. And during sandstorm weather, you'll also be able to see some of the extra sandy mushrooms appear as well. So it's something to look out for. It's not a big change, but as you go on to in these kind of gameplays, I believe it's something that you will really appreciate once you get to know it. And yeah, it's not a huge overhaul, but yeah, we believe that it's going to give you more. It's just like a good quality of life change. Yeah, the next one we also want to introduce is, yeah, we'll be making small adjustments to like food gathering spots too, to just make them more accessible, to be near campfires so you can just get that food more quicker in case you've forgotten to get them like a few seconds earlier. So yeah, fishing, potatoes, mushrooms are going to be closer to campfires for easier access too. And we've also, this one is kind of big because bushes are just that vital in combat. We've been repositioning some of the bushes for several areas. So if you look at the pictures here, the warehouse CCTV somewhere around added around the warehouse CCTV, and while places like school have had a few removed to create more open fights too. So yeah, no more bush cheese at school, as they say. And yeah, in rainy weather, the forest will also spawn more bushes, which we believe will give it a slightly different atmosphere a bit as the previous one. So yeah. And yeah, with that being said, we will be moving on to the next change. It's also going to be kind of an environmental change, but this one is kind of big. We will be making changes to wild animal spawns to Lumia Island as well. So to balance zones and create more natural movement paths, we have kind of made some changes we have made a few new spawns, and we shifted some existing ones as well, without disrupting movement too much. So for example, we've added some examples here as well. So a bear has been added to the cemetery, which will make the routes through the chapel, pond, or going to the research center kind of more meaningful. You would have that extra bear to get before you enter those new areas. And also another one in Uptown, we have made a change to Uptown, and to kind of strengthen the pathing between the warehouse and beach as well. So overall, about 10% of wild animal spawns were significantly changed. And we also made slightly different changes to about 20% to make small changes for slightly moving stuff around. So, but I know the kind of worry that since all of the wild animal changes were made, like it's gonna be really hard to like locate all of these animals since they were all like moved around the map. But we actually prepared a separate feature to help players out regarding this wild animal changes too. Because on the next slide, we have prepared the wild animal map. So we're gonna be adding the wild animal map directly into the game. And this one is really special for me personally, because I remember like back in early access, our players would make wild animal maps like on websites, and players would look at those to kind of like see where the wild animals are. But we're really happy that we're finally be able to introduce this kind of feature inside Eternal Return, and they will be able to get these informations directly from the game. Yeah, W quality of life. So yeah, we're really happy. You'll be able to check it in the codex from the lobby, and you'll also be able to check it on the crafting menu during matches as well. So, and you will also be able to selectively view the information you want on the map too. And yeah, we just think it's gonna be making it much more easier to plan efficient routes, and also be helping to learn stuff as well. So this one is actually a huge quality of life feature, and we believe it's really gonna help new and returning players too. And yeah, next one is also kind of a quality of life, and because this one is really important, we'll show you the video first. As you can see, these two parties are fighting. But as a third party enters, a new announcer sounds. So I know I got a little excited, so I was taking over Raven 2's part. So I'll calm down for now and pass the mic to Raven 1, 2 for now.
Yeah, as Wendy explained, we'll actually be getting an announcer for third parties, and we are looking to see what kind of other announcers we can actually also add to help players. This one was mainly because when you're in a team fight, sometimes it gets really hectic. You don't really realize that another party has joined, and if you're using a locked camera, perhaps while playing Eva, like sometimes it's hard to see what's actually really happening on the other side of the fight as well. So we hope that this announcer can help, especially new players who aren't really used to the idea of third parties joining a fight. Now, this PPT is. I'm also going to be making adjustments to looting, fairly large parts. Originally, we had items such as Glacial, Samadhi, and Moonstone to help people find items easier in the category. But now that we have a lot of in-game systems that make it just easier itself for final item transitions, we're going to be removing extra steps in the crafting trees. So 80% of special material plus common is what's going to be mainly. So it's going to be a lot more simplified. Not only with that, with the new academy, we're lowering remote drones even more for the cost. I think this is already our second or third reduction at this time that we have discounted the item for remote drone. I think we're going to be running out of business at this point. And we're also adding a factory campfire that we previously discussed earlier on to help people get food easier in such maps. And we're going to be starting with bread and tears instead of having to make it. But not only that, we'll be changing bread and tears with candy apples to fit the new... Oh, spoiler?
Dude! No, okay.
Just
That's
the
a spoiler
breadcrumb.
for later stuff.
Just the breadcrumb. All right.
We're running out of business at this point with all of these productions. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to pay my bills at this point. Oh, spoiler.
Sorry, my hand is really sweaty, so I keep double clicking the spacebar. But next up is character improvements and reworks, which was one of the biggest criticism in Season 8. So based on dev journals and extensive feedback, especially the Hedgen rework survey, our first principle is to respect existing playstyles. Option 2 for the survey was very similar to that one blonde guy from another game, and this was actually voted fairly highly by players who didn't play Hedgen. Historically, when a character was reworked, pick rates climbed and more players actually tried the character. But separately from pick rate, many existing mains missed the old gameplay. So Eternal Return players seem to form deep attachments to their main, so changes that can feel especially disruptive. For Hedgen especially, Option 1 strengthened her current playstyle, and Option 3 largely preserved it. These words are... While some Hedgen players were curious about the so-called Ezreal direction, 63% of Hedgen players did not actually want their characters turned into something entirely new. That's why our rework philosophy is going to be shifting towards a pinpoint improvement that can preserve the core playstyle while adding room for counterplay and sharpening identities. For Hedgen, that likely means Option 1, Option 3, or a middle ground. As for something that's interesting in Option 2 for non-Hedgen players, we saw the heavy interest, so we won't ignore it, but rather than putting it on Hedgen, we'll channel those ideas into a new character instead. We thank you guys for participating in the survey as well, and hope you guys are glad to see the feedback turn into actual decisions pretty fast. This is the kind of active two-way communication that we want to keep building on. And regarding how we pick rework targets, we'll reference surveys, questionnaires, and broad community feedback. Candidates will be chosen based on basically protecting existing play and tackling pinpoint upgrades first. Wow. I feel like it's not me at this point. I feel like
It's actually me. I'm actually messing with it.
So first is the previously discussed Hedgen. Hedgen's Q will now go through the first enemy, and the projectile width has increased as well. With this, Hedgens can now aim to hit the backline without being overly blocked by the enemy frontline. E has been revamped as well, or close to rework to the old Hedgen, where E2 will now proc damage and passive again. However, unlike the old Hedgen, the E2 damage will have a bit of delay to offer more counterplay than before. She will, however, be getting some of her damage adjusted as well, and have to poke or work with their teammates for her best potential. Just in case players are not a fan of this change, we've also prepared a rollback system in preparation as well. For the first time, we've prepared a rollback system, so if you guys don't like it, give us feedback and we'll roll the system back. I think I'm gonna use the mouse.
Yeah.
Barbara will be getting an example of a pinpoint rework. If Barbara is within range of her sentry gun when she goes down, the tower will actually stay up for a bit more, and it'll give a small detail for option for Barbara to stick close to her turret when going down, and it'll make it a bit harder to dive Barbara than before. I can't find the... Oh, there we go. Next, let's talk about Vanya's ultimate, who has one of the hardest ultimates to actually hit in the game. And the hitbox often felt inconsistent compared to the visual effects. So we're going to be updating the image in the ultimate, which now looks more natural with a clear hitbox. The cast time has also been shortened, making it easier to land in close combat. But to balance that, the projectile speed has been reduced, so opponents farther away still have a chance to avoid it. We've also fixed the issue with the back hitbox. Previously, it didn't match the actual visuals. So with the updated telegraphic effects and the range, the skill should feel much more reliable actually in close range fights. Since the ultimate is now easier to land up close, the sleep duration has also been reduced to 1.5 seconds, so it remains fair for both sides. Overall, this rework makes the ultimate more consistent and satisfying, both for players using it and hopefully for people that are fighting it. Aiden is also getting yet another visual change. Do you guys remember the first walk animation that Aiden had? We're going to be reworking some of his visuals so it's more satisfying and more clear when using and playing him, as you can see in the before and after. Next, let's look at Johan. You might notice right away, his sensor no longer has its own health bar. As a support character, we're aiming to reduce that extra layer of fatigue that may feel bothersome than a fun mechanic. That kind of feels like homework. The sensor will also not disappear if it moves too far away from Johan. And E-targeting has been improved as well with the cursor-based correction, making it a little easier to aim than reducing misclick issues. And his ultimate will no longer slow himself while active, so he can actually catch up to his teammates while using his ultimate. Next is Kenneth. Previously, his skill had a fixed dash distance, which often felt really restrictive. Now you can actually choose the exact point within the range to dash to, allowing for much finer control and more flexible skill combos. Next is Fiora. Up until now, Fiora relied on burst damage and lacked sustained presence in extended fights with no real defensive tools. Her playstyle was very more close to an assassin than what we had imagined. With this update, triggering her passive stacks will now restore a small amount of HP. This means her survival in battle will depend heavily on how effectively she actually procs her passive now. So, originally in fights against bruisers and tanks, Fiora has really struggled, but we hope this can balance some of it. Next is Piolo. Previously, his ultimate only granted a shield when it hit enemy experiments, test subjects. Now that condition has been relaxed, using it on wild animals will also grant a shield. This gives Piolo more flexibility and hope it's fun for the players as well. Next is Tsubame. Currently, her ultimate is refunded for 80% if she uses it and procs her passive at full. But it's frustrating when you accidentally don't get it off. It goes on full cooldown, so we're going to be changing it. So at 1 stack, it's going to be 40%, and 2 stack, 60%, and 3 stack will remain 80%, but it'll be 0% to punish Tsubame for using it without a stack.
Finally, I can play Tsubame without griefing.
Finally, let's look at Priya. Her skill, Portamento. That's right? Portamento. Has always been tricky to balance. When multiple flowers stack, the shield value was actually really, really high, and it's always been a problem, especially in the team setting. To address this, the shield from a single flower has been increased, but when hitting multiple flowers, the shield gain is going to be reduced by 35% each, preventing it from scaling into an obnoxious amount of large shields. And this is something that we mentioned in the last dev stream, but weren't able to actually apply in this season, so we had to push it back to season 9, but it's going to be the basic attack post-delay improvements. So we're going to be removing 2 post-delay frames, which may actually make it smoother. One note is that assault rifles are actually excluded from this change because of their 3-shot structure. Reducing the after delay actually makes the attack rhythm feel awkward. But assault rifle already had much shorter attack frames compared to the other weapons, so they've been slightly advantaged in this regard in the first place. With this update, the rest of the weapons are essentially catching up and making things more consistent across the board. And we're going to be removing separate damage. This is in Korean, but a lot of the times the QOL actually say separate damage, which is not really clear. So we're going to be removing that term, and we're going to be stating if it's going to be individual skill damage or attack damage or basic attack damage. And now, currently, ER has heavy restrictions on using channeling skills together with Blink. In most cases, you have to finish the skill or the cast would be cancelled if you tried to blink during it. With this update, we're going to be loosening the restrictions. If a channeling skill allows movement while casting already, you can now use blink while casting. This creates new creative options and more flexible combat scenarios. For example, Nadine's Q, Bullseye, you can now blink while charging without breaking the charge. Magnus's W, you can you can blink mid-spin I mean, you can see he's pretty happy about it.
Crazy.
And IS Steady Shot, previously missing your aim meant a huge loss in performance because it would go on cooldown after you cancel it, but now Blink can help you adjust and cover that weakness. And of course, there's going to be more skills that are going to benefit from this change. These include Isol's W, Lead Island's W, Adriana's Q, Estelle's Water, Piolo's Q and W, Shukai's R, Alina's E, Chloe's W, Theodore's Q, and Eleven's Q. And if you did not catch that, it's on the roadmap. But all of these can be now cast while using Blink without being interrupted. That said, not every channeling skill is included. For skills directly tied to CC, such as Eleven's W or Nikki's Q, it would be unfair for the opponent with very little counterplay, so we have excluded them. And we'll keep fine-tuning which skills can be blinked, or is that a term? Blinked? Can be blinked or not blinked while casting, depending on the balance as well. As also noted earlier, skills that don't allow movement while casting, such as Hyunwoo's E or R or Henry's ultimate, will remain excluded as well. Shoichi's R is actually not a channeling while moving ability, so. Season 9 also brings 4 new Mythic items, 1 for each equipment slot. And we're going to be putting in the slots that are actually needed. So arm slots is going to be a tank slot, and it's going to be the premier slot where you actually get tank gear as the fight goes on. The clothing and head slots will be Red Starlight and Featherfall. Both include critical strike chance, expanding the variety of mythic items that were previously, restrained. And we'll also have the Pixie Boots, which is the skill amp plus strong heal reduction, which was actually not an option at the moment. So we hope this opens up more mythic options for players. Next, let's talk about the new item skills coming in Season 9. We have Blaze of Glory, which is going to be a skill amp item for artillery who plays from safe distance. And you're going to do increased damage when you're actually above a certain amount of HP. So it's going to be rewarding you for playing safely and letting you do more damage. But once they do punish you and get you down lower, then you'll lose the actual item skill. And we have the skills as well, where you get sturdy. The more you get hit, like at Evil Dragon. So the more you get hit, the tankier you'll get. And once you hit the max stacks, you'll also receive a shield and movement speed as well. And we have more items with Mana Seed, which is going to be a long-term stacking item for mages. You can deal damage, or you can wait for day and night cycles to actually give you more skill amp. And once you hit the max cap, you'll actually get CDR as well. And we have Heart of Fire, which will actually replace Black Flame Dragon's Flame Barrier. And now you can actually have an item as a tank, Flame Barrier plus another, and this will be the premier passive for tanks as well. And last but not least, we'll show you Time Edge. And it's going to scratch some of the attack power DPS that actually use basic attacks as well as require skills. So basic attacks will reduce skill cooldown based on the current remaining CD. So players who rely on basic attacks and skills will enjoy it well.
And with that being said, that's going to be all of the item passives that we have for Season 9. And yeah, we'll move on to the next feature, which is going to be something that I'm going to introduce. And this one was, I think this one is a big one for the global servers in particular, because we want to show off finally the machine learning bots, which was something that was promised in late Season 8, but there was a lot of difficulty in doing it first. So we really apologize for the delay, because reaching the level of AI quality that's kind of hard to distinguish from human players took a lot more time than expected. But thankfully, we will be able to show kind of a first version about what we want to do for this kind of feature. So yeah, with the start of Season 9, we will be implementing the machine learning bots into the normal games. So what you're seeing here are all AI-controlled plays. So as you can tell, they're actually, honestly, they are pretty impressive, because as you can see, characters like Marcus and Hisui can actually chain their skills during fights, as they can do their full combos. And also Bianca can also naturally use their tactical skills as part of their combos too. So yeah, we believe that it has reached a level where you can actually see them kind of use their skills correctly and do stuff that normal players can do. So we're really happy to show off the first version of this kind of stuff into our players. So once the system goes live, we do expect that we'll be able to provide better matchmaking quality, especially in lower tier normal games and we believe that it's going to help improve the experience significantly during those tiers. So yeah, we want to talk a bit more. So we actually want to show you a video here too. Let me take the mouse real quick. And yeah, there's actually a fight between a human team and an AI team. So actually, you guys can kind of guess which one is actually the real human team. Who's the human? Who's the AI? Yeah, if you can look at this, you can actually say that it's really hard to distinguish which part is AI and which part is human. So it is not going to be perfect, as you can see when you go into the games. It's not going to be like fully distinguishable. AI is here, like Skynet is going to take us over. It's not going to be at that level, but we believe that it's going to provide a better experience for a kind of like a better learning experience for our lower tier players. And while we're talking about this, we do want to talk a bit more about matchmaking on our overseas servers too, because we understand that matchmaking on overseas servers continues to face various challenges. And we have been taking a lot of compromises when queues aren't running smoothly. And we believe that one of the issues that really came up was the matchmaking quality dropping down when pre-made trios are matched with just normal teams. Because usually trios, like squads, have an advantage over the other queuing types. And separating them would ideally be the best approach. But if queue times become excessively long, we believe that simply giving them a match, it can be the better option. So we do want to kind of give you on how the system works right now. So what happens right now is that squads are usually, like 3-man squads are placed into a separate queue for a set period of time. And if matchmaking takes too long, they are merged back into the main queue to at least kind of help a 3-man trio, 3-man squads go into the same game. But we do recognize, however, that this system alone cannot provide the best experience. And even though, and this topic has actually been discussed very frequently in the community, and feedback has been mixed because while many agree that matchmaking quality is important, players also do stress the need for reasonable queue times. So there is really kind of a hesitation about making all of these matchmaking changes. But we do believe that with improvements such as this one, as the implementation of machine learning-based bots, we want to kind of prevent new players to being matched against opponents that are kind of far above their skill level or just want to learn the game. And we believe that these kinds of changes will be able to provide a much more smoother onboarding experience for these players and kind of settle into Eternal Return. And as we are able to stabilize the new player pool, in the long term, we believe that we will be able to make more improved matchmaking changes across various tiers and ultimately improving the overall environment for everyone. So this is our hopes. This is kind of the first step we're going to take. And yeah, we hope that it works out.
I think the chat's curious to know which one was the bot and which one was not the bot.
Which one was the bot?
Do you guys want to guess? Do you guys want to guess?
You guys want to guess, actually? We'll actually play the video again,
yeah.
just because time has passed.
Both are humans. Red team. Easy is a bot in both. Well, the actual answer is the team that won the fight was the AI.
And yeah, we'll show you the second fight too. Yeah,
Easy is the bot.
Easy is actually the bot. So yeah, the bots are actually now capable of actual combat. So if you're kind of like, oh, this is a bot, I'm just gonna win 100%, you might be able to be careful about that. So yeah. So we believe that the level of bots has improved significantly. So and we hope that it will be able to help our new players and just like the queue experience as a whole. So yeah, we're really excited, and we will be seeing that next season. And we talked a bit about kind of like helping new players settle into Eternal Return, because the next change is also related to that. We want to show off the normal games and ranked games rules separation, because usually ranked and normal games play out very differently, because in normal games teams drop off much faster than in ranked, which can sometimes leave the map feel very empty and kind of feel a bit dull. So it's not very fun gameplay. But with the start of season 9, we will be adding like termination protection to the normal games up until day 2 daytime. So this means that even if you lose the first big objective fight, you'll still have that one more chance to get back into the action. So I know that there are gonna be some concerns, because there's gonna be different rules between ranked games and normal games. But currently, ranked games and normal games already kind of play out differently, and they offer different kinds of fun too. Because ranked games are more about tight competitive play, where getting that RP is the main driver for playing, while normal games are kind of like lighter heart, and players tend to take more risks. So we believe that it's better to shape each mode to make what is more fun, even if that means that we're making a few small differences. So we do believe that there will be a bit of a confusion between the transition from going to normal games to ranked games. But yeah, as of now, we do believe that giving those new players and casual players kind of that one extra chance early on in the gameplay is very valuable in kind of giving them more learning opportunities. So yeah, we're gonna kind of debate with doing different stuff, because in the future we also want to maybe able to try other light changes too. Like for example, we kind of try and make Bori appear more often in normal games, but we're only gonna make these changes if we think if either it's gonna help the player base or it's gonna actually generally add to the fun. So yeah, we're gonna kind of work it out and see how it's gonna go out. So yeah, we hope that with these structural improvements to the experience, it will help our users ease into playing Eternal Return. And yeah, there's actually some talk about machine learning bots in ranked. We are gonna first experiment with bots in the normal games. So as of now, with the first implementation, there are gonna be no bots in ranked games in our current plan. So yeah. So yeah, with that being said, we just talked about ranked, so we're also going to be introducing more ranked changes for the next season too. So yeah, so we are also going to be making small changes to the rank system as well. So our first change is going to be, we're going to be making season rewards, like the cadet skin, only be given if you are playing a certain number of, if you play a certain number of ranked games. We haven't finalized the exact number yet, but it won't be more than 10 games. So I think that's something to keep in mind. And we're also going to be expanding the material. I'm sorry, my throat is dying. Meteorite tier by 100 points. And
Meteorite. Meaty claws.
Meteorite tier by 100 points. So I know that because I understand that this won't be a huge change for our servers overseas, but we will be keeping up with and monitor the ladder closely to see if we can make more further matchmaking adjustments when needed, as we have done throughout the previous seasons. So yeah, so basically for us to improve our ladders overseas, we will have to bring more players into it, and we believe that since we're making changes to kind of ease more players into Eternal Return and enhance the first impressions of Eternal Return in normal games, we hope that these changes as we go on will help encourage more players to transition into ranked too. So yeah, we're gonna do small steps, basic building blocks, but we believe that this is gonna set the foundation to making the environment better as whole. So hopefully it's gonna work out, and we'll be able to provide you a better environment. So thank you all for waiting, and we're really sorry for kind of the small it's not, I wouldn't say small, but all of the issues that happen in overseas ranked. And thank you for sticking despite all of these issues. And okay, next change. This one is actually something that everyone will like. It's going to be regarding the teammate desertion. So we're going to be making changes to how, when your teammates desert you, how these situations are going to be handled. So if a teammate disconnects and doesn't come back, currently what happens is that your team has to wait until the match fully, like your team fully ends to get your score restored to 0, like not lose RP. But what we're going to do now is we're going to be adding a return timer, a kind of like a deserter timer, and a forfeit button. So once the timer runs out, you can forfeit immediately. You can forfeit immediately, give up immediately, and avoid losing points, rather than waiting until your whole session ends. So we are scheduling this feature later in the season, but we believe that this is going to be a big quality of life to our players. So hopefully we will be able to bring it forward as much as possible. So with that being said, that's all going to be all of the rank changes, and we're going to move on to the next feature that we're going to show off. This one is actually kind of a big quality of life for kind of our players that have played a long time too. It's going to be the research tab. So I know I read the feedback sections, and there are a lot of feedback saying that there's a lot of veteran players say that what they should do with all of their leftover data shards. And because the more skins and items you already own, the less you actually use your actual data shards. So what we're going to do is, to give those shards more value, we're going to be adding the research tab. And what you can do here is that you'll be able to spend your data shards on small upgrades. So one of the upgrades we have prepared is when you upgrade this option, it will give you a small chance to receive a full skin directly when obtaining a skin design from a skin data box. So it's going to give you these small bonuses for using these data shards for the research tab. So So think of it as kind of a quality of life content and kind of like a reward for getting all of those skins, all of those items, and saving up on all of the data shards. It's kind of a quality of life for those players. And for players who have been stacking up tens of thousands of shards, we believe that this is also going to give you the sense of account progression as well. It's going to be a bit more depth. It's going to be a bit more depth, a bit more rewarding. And I think that's going to be good. And we'll move on to the next one. Okay, next one up is going to be the Gadget Vault UI. We received a lot of our feedback from our first step journal, which was about the Gadget Vault, and we've also received a lot of feedback for the UI as well. So what we have gotten throughout the feedback, the most common options was either we change it to a hold and select style, or we just leave the UI as is. So, and these feedback was really split very evenly. So it was kind of, we thought a lot about how we're going to move forward. And it has taken, because of that, it has taken some time for us to respond. So in Season 9, what we're going to do is we're going to give players an additional choice from the current method. You'll be able to select between the current method and the new hold option that we're going to be introducing in the settings. So with the hold option, you'll be pressing and holding the G key, your selected gadget hotkey, and this will bring up the Gadget Vault plate for selection, and then you simply press G and click where you want to use it. So it's going to be, there's also going to be a separate quick class key if you prepare instant use as well. So
I just saw someone say Nimble Neurons tries to take all my keybinds from using Clown Spray.
Oh. Actually, you have figured this out. That was our master plan all along. We're going to remove all keybinds, so we just use ours. Okay, so this is, so this style is going to be available as an option, and it's not going to be the default, but we're going to be adding as an additional option in case players want to use it. And we'll keep listening to your feedback on these kind of issues, and hopefully we'll be able to decide which one is going to be the more standard one. Okay, that being said, I think we can move on to more of the other improvements that are going to be introduced in the season. Okay, so these are some small improvements that we made to the season. So for the first one, we have introduced numbers to show up on item stacks that are now on the ground. So you know exactly how much fried chickens are dropped on the ground when a player drops it. And the second one is we made some significant updates to rips. So what we have done is we have removed the shield packs, shield packs from the rips, and we will also be randomizing the cubes from different types and not just the green ones and the rips as well. We also fixed an issue where kind of like rift fights dragged on if one enemy just like crawled off to the other part. So yeah, it's gonna feel more. So the whole experience, the rift experience, we believe is gonna be more smooth. And yeah, we also made some small quality of life adjustments to effects like terminate, clutch, and break as well to just feel a bit smoother. So the first one up is downed enemies will also be able to get the buff from getting a clutch. So the person alive, the person who actually clutched, wouldn't have to res both of your teammates because now all of the teammates will get the buff as the same way. So it will be much more easier to revive your teammates. And also, teams will also get the terminate buff, even if one enemy already used Fission Blast. So this is also just a small touch that you can be able to use to get those small buffs when you finish a fight. And also, skills interrupt mid-cast by a terminate will also correctly get the cooldown reduction properly too. So it's also going to help you go into another fight when one breaks out if you're third party too. So we believe that these effects will help in those kind of ways. And overall, it's just going to make matches feel more smooth. Okay, with that being said, we're going to move on to more introductions for this time. We're going to move on to modes. So, so I know modes are actually a very big talking point for our community too. And yeah, the new mode we're going to bring in this season is going to be Cobalt Union. And yeah, we're going to be introducing Cobalt Union for the first time. And yeah, while Cobalt has always been considered kind of a lighter mode, we believe that this will be able to give dedicated Cobalt players kind of a chance to prove themselves in a competitive setting. And yeah, we're going to try it out. And because of this, the original Union circuit will only run for about one patch cycle before giving way to Cobalt Union. But yeah, we'll see how the schedule goes when we introduce them. Yeah, and for the third one, as for Lone Wolf, the return of solo modes has been well received, but I think Raven 2 has said that we recognize that it can feel limited over the long term since it doesn't really have any rewards, ranked, or all that stuff. There's not really that the stuff that really gives you the drive to keep playing. So we are kind of experimenting. We're kind of thinking of different ideas. So to keep things fresh, we are exploring kind of rotating variations of Lone Wolf. So let's say melee only Lone Wolf. Let's say even like a classic Lone Wolf where only pre 1.0 release characters are available. We'll kind of look at stuff like this to see if they add a bit more charm to the mode as well. So we believe that these kinds of twists would add more of a kind of event-like excitement and variety to try them out. And yeah. So yeah, we also tossed around kind of like different ideas for like special formats. So like say one match has all of the same characters for all of the players. We are kind of like debating with these kind of match formats as well. Which we think is going to be kind of fun. It's going to be pretty fun in the future. So yeah, we're debating on different ideas about what we're going to bring in different modes, a different experience that we can bring to the players. And yeah, we'll see how it's going to work out. Next up, we are going to be introducing mobile phone verification for ranked during Season 9, starting with the Asia 1 server. We are going to be kind of like testing it out with the Asia 1 server. And while we do think that the best scenario is integrating Crafton's more upgraded solution, that is going to take a bit longer for integration. So we are going to move ahead with our own system first. So once implemented, only verified accounts will be able to play ranked on the Asia 1 server, which we believe will able to kind of alleviate the smurfing situation on the server. And beyond that, we are currently working with Crafton on several areas, especially anti-cheat, because Crafton does have a more advanced platform than what we currently have. And yeah, we expect to adopt these kind of more new generation kind of like technologies to our game through this partnership too. And if we have more progress, if we make more progress and we have more updates to share, we will be able to share these stuffs. Yeah, with that being said, I think we can move on to the next one. Oh yeah, it's not only Korean numbers. You can use a global number to verification too. So that's not going to be an issue. You just need to verificate a number, basically. Yeah. With that being said, I think we can move on to the next one. And yeah, this one is something I see a lot in feedback, and I think this is something that our players are really going to appreciate, because the next one up is going to be about optimization. So at the start of the season, what usually happens when we talk about optimization is that we usually benchmark performance internally. And for season 6 and 7 and 8, it wasn't really good internally as well, because there were a lot of new features for those seasons, and usually new features means heavier load to the game, and it would result in lower frames. But for season 9, since there aren't very heavy features being added right now, we have been able to do a lot of optimization work for the game, and we are very happy to say that we have made a significant kind of meaningful improvements to the performance for this season. So what we have done is, for on recommended specs, we were kind of like able to make strides, so and about 10 frames higher than compared to the live server. And we believe that this is going to be about 7 to 8 frames better than season 6 as well. So 10 frames better than season 7, 7 to 8 frames better than season 6. So yeah, it's definitely an improvement than what we currently have. So thankfully, we have provided a better one. And also, we have addressed some of the stuttering issues as well, which were often caused by CPU load. And we're also looking into improvements to the UI and monster animation optimization as well, which is going to greatly help reduce a CPU load too. And for our more long-term solution, we are looking forward to the Unity 6 upgrade, which is going to happen. We're going to kind of give you a pipeline about what's going to happen. So in November, Unity is going to release a new version, which is going to be kind of like a stable version that we'll be able to use. So this will be able to open the door for us to use new rendering and loading optimizations. And this is all just speculation, but we do expect to raise another average FPS by at least another 10 in the long run. So this is also something that we are very looking forward to optimization as well. I know optimization is something that we always talk in our dev streams, and we always say that it is a very hard process, since we always have to match with the new features as well. And we're really happy in this dev stream that we are actually able to provide you a good news about the optimization and say that the game is going to be improved in the next season compared to this one. So yeah, we're really happy to say that. And yeah, I think we can move on to the next part. Now, actually, with the optimization part being over, that was all we have prepared for season 9. And before we go on to showing off all the skins and characters, we want to give you a kind of like the big picture about what we want to do on season 10 and beyond as well. So with that being said, we're going to show off some of the stuff that we're going to do to our future seasons. And I think the next one is something that our players are going to be really excited about. It is going to be the theater, and it's going to be showing off story content. So yeah, it's starting with season 10. Eternal Return story content will be expanding. And as we previewed during our previous step stream, we will be able to give you guys the story in a visual novel format with this new theater feature. So yeah, we'll be rolling out main episodes that kind of like dive deeper into Eternal Return's lore and the events unfolding on Lumia Island, as well as small event episodes, or maybe even later what-if scenarios that can be enjoyed maybe through the season pass or other events too. So we're kind of debating on what kind of stuff we're gonna do, but this is kind of the whole picture about what we're planning. So yeah, in addition to story episodes, we are also preparing we're also preparing content that kind of makes it easier to explore the ER universe and the backstories of our characters as well. So I know of a lot of our players have really been kind of looking forward to this kind of story content, and we'll work really hard to deliver it as our players wanted, always dreamt it would be, and meet up to your expectations. So yeah, and for this one is not like totally set in stone yet, but for main episodes, we are expecting it to be voice acted in Korean as well. But we will give you more progress as we will be able to share more updates regarding this too. Yeah. With that being said, I think we can move on to the next one. yeah, we're going to show off in the future seasons. We're also going to be making improvements to the tutorial and the practice mode. And yeah, we've heard a lot of feedback across the community. We got feedback from surveys and all of the feedback too, because on about how much improvement is needed for the tutorial. And while we have added like a small tutorial content like the guides, we are very aware that just reading stuff isn't very enough for our players to settle into Eternal Return, because ER is really a game you really need to understand to play correctly. And yeah, in the past, we have been focused on too much seasonal changes, and tutorials weren't able to be placed on the highest priority. But moving forward, we are going to be preparing a full rework. And yeah, our goal in the end is kind of help new players better understand the whole flow of the game. And although this is a very big task, we are going to be preparing a new renewals kind of focus to be scheduled on Season 10 as of now. So hopefully we will be able to deliver a better tutorial that is going to be very helpful for our players to settle into Eternal Return. But since that is so far away, that doesn't mean we're just going to be leaving the new player experience as of now. As we said in Season 9, we are going to be implementing stuff like the machine learning bot implementation, and we'll also be making the normal ranked distinction as well to help more of our players settle, and before we make the big tutorial rework. Yeah. And on top of that, we are going to be making very significant changes to the practice mode as well. We are going to be adding multiplayer access to the practice mode lobbies as well, so you can join with friends and practice together, and make fun scenarios too, and not just kind of like make your friends explain from the sidelines. And our long-term goal with this, with the practice mode, is that we will be able to kind of make you freely swap characters, make you freely swap augments, attack skills during practice too, and giving more flexibility and like kind of save time on testing different strategies as well. So hopefully we will be able to deliver on these features. These are all still in development, so we won't be saying that, oh, this is going to be coming out like 100%. But yeah, these are stuff that we are trying to work out, and hopefully we will be able to deliver in the future. Yeah, and before we end it out, we also want to give kind of like some of our results from our dev journal surveys too. So yeah, we believe that this is going to kind of shine some light on which direction, the long-term direction on which the game is going to go. And while surveys can't decide everything, we do believe that it is very valuable for us to know what players are thinking. So we do believe that one of the biggest takeaways from the surveys that we got was about healing reduction. And many players have wanted major changes, with a lot of responses even calling for its full removal. And a complete overhaul would likely need some careful planning, because we don't want to reproduce any issues that we made throughout our previous seasons. We are aiming for Season 10 to make some initial adjustments to kind of make the situation better. For multi-weapon characters, there were actually a lot of feedback saying that we should reduce the number of weapon options for some of our characters. And this is something we will have to review more carefully. And if there are cases that we do feel that they are very same and not that different, we will look if we can narrow it down then. And yeah, for crafting. So we also want to give some idea about crafting, because players responded positively about kind of like simplifying the crafting process for both epic and legendary equipment. And for Season 9, we already have kind of introduced that we are going to be making legendary equipment require fewer materials. And so we will be kind of monitoring the community after this change is made, and yeah, see how the players feel about the simplification. So yeah, I think after that, so we've shared some of the results for the surveys, and we do believe that these surveys aren't just about the results, but as we put out these kind of surveys and toss around these ideas, we believe that the discussions and debates that are made in the community due to us kind of giving these ideas are very important, and kind of we can get about what the community feels about these kind of ideas. So we believe that it is going to be a very important part of us moving forward as well. So we'd love to keep bringing kind of these important topics to you in developer journals and surveys. So yeah, and we'll be able to use these data to shape Eternal Return as we go on in future seasons. And yeah, that is all we have prepared for kind of the feature introduction and all of that stuff. And we are going to move on into the skins and characters. But before we move into that, we want to do two things before. We want to share our dev stream coupon as we always show. As always, thank you guys so much for sticking us throughout season 8 as well. We did talk about earlier today in the dev stream that it was quite a rocky ride this season as well. But yeah, thank you so much for sticking with us throughout this season as well. And hopefully the improvements and the new features that we have shown today will be able to make more significant improvements to the game too. And we will be able to finally give you a better environment that you guys have always been waiting for. So thank you for sticking with us. And I think Raven has also want to say something.
I was gonna say we're going to go on break. We'll be back after 15 minutes.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what you were expecting.
No. I was gonna say that. I said two things.
We're going to be going on break. We're gonna play a little bit of trivia for stats and character stories about season 8. Or the upcoming season. So we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah. Before that, thank you guys always for sticking with us. So yeah, we're gonna play some trivia and we'll see you guys after the break. Thank you.
Okay, can you guys hear us now?
Are we back?
Are we back?
Enable mic! Yo!
Oh, yeah, it's back.
We basically said, use the coupon. We hope you enjoyed the trivia and learning about the characters. And now we're going to be looking at the character art.
The real dev stream begins.
We saw Blair in the last season's preview, and Blair is the first new test subject in season 9. She despises anything tied to VF after losing her father to an incident, yet struggles with her own awakening powers, torn between hatred and inner conflict. She's designed around themes of revenge, betrayal, and personal struggle, showing hostility to most test subjects, but moments of hesitations towards the innocent. Expect a darker and more conflicted character who adds a unique edge to the roster. This is the portrait that we showed you guys before, and man, she's a cool character.
She is.
And we saw that Blair was really popular within the community, especially the English community. So while it's still under development, we actually brought up some of the videos for her lobby and victory screen as well, animation as well. So we'll show you guys that now. But it is under development, so.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so that's going to be her victory animation. And now, here is her lobby animation. And with this, you can also see what she looks like in-game through her model as well. We hope you guys are excited for Blair, the first character of Season 9. Next up is Mirka, the Queen of the Backstreets. Fierce, charismatic, and unyielding to her enemies, but fiercely protective of her own. She's the kind of rough around the edges leader you can't help but root for. And you can see on the right top here, the designer of the character made sure that the teeth looks the way that he wants it, or they want it. So the amount of details that was actually put in was very heavy. Not only that, if you look at Mirka's weapon, which is a massive hammer that contrasts her small frame, we're excited to see how she'll unleash it on Lumia Island. You can see a lot of the small details. And one of the reasons we can't show you guys the portrait yet is that it's not finalized, but you can see the rough drafts that we've prepared for you guys and the options that we had we're going to be looking through. But the chosen designs for her are going to be even better, so we hope you guys are excited. Not only that, it turns out we've prepared a little gift for everyone who's been waiting. So, inspired by her merciless nature against intruders in her territory, one of our team members created this emote to show coworkers, and the reaction was so good that we felt bad if only we got to see it. So we're going to make it. We made it an emote and showed all of you guys.
Grab it now.
And now we're going to be moving on to the season 10 characters instead of the season 9 characters. This is Fenrir, the 86th test subject coming in season 10, created by one of Aglaya's divisions. Fenrir takes inspiration from Earth's ancient rulers, giving them a human form, but with sharp claws and a tail as their main weapon. You can see the weapon here on the right.
Very interesting.
And yeah, this is going to be the portrait where they look really playful and innocent in the portrait, almost like they'd be great friends with Lenny.
Nice.
Next up is Coraline, the Judge of Mirrors. Coming to Lumia Island in Season 10, she hides behind a gentle smile, but anyone who lies, whether from malice or good intentions, will face her ruthless judgment. Shaped by a painful past, her mirror, customized to her taste, is both weapon and symbol. And I think players will be eager to see what kind of justice she brings and what kind of interactions she perhaps has with Karia, who is very famous and infamous for not being quite the honest fellow. Yeah, and this is a sneak peek or additional art for Coraline as well. I also saw a feedback in the English Discord, and they called her a Neapolitan ice cream, and I can't unsee it.
That's crazy. Oh my god.
And now that we've talked about the new characters, let's talk about what we leaked before. It's the Matsuri skin line, and I'm going to pass the mic to you.
Yeah. I am going to introduce you guys the ER pass for this season. And yeah, I know that all of you guys have seen some of the skins, but yeah, it is a great pleasure to show you off in the dev stream as well. So the season's theme for this season is going to be Matsuri. And the word Matsuri might be kind of unfamiliar to some of you, but it is the Japanese word for festival. And yeah, this past theme imagines the test subjects in kind of enjoying a traditional Japanese festival in a alternate setting. So we're really excited to show all of the characters and characters that are going to be having fun in the Matsuri Festival. And the first one up is going to be Yuki. And it's going to be a rare skin. So if you look at the outfit, Yuki's outfit reflects the cool autumn season with beautiful patterns adding a warm, calming feel. And in this story, Yuki is the one who also invited all of the other test subjects to the festival. And he hopes that they can have a moment of healing from all of their harsh experiments. So yeah, here is a look at all of his cool character sheet. And we also have a peek of his portrait as well. He's also enjoying a candy apple while the autumn leaves fall around him. So yeah, with this autumn skin, we're really excited to see if you can kind of sweep your enemies away like falling leaves. Okay, and also we have the victory motion. Nice. We also have the lobby animation prepared as well.
이번엔 제 차례로군요.
And yeah, we also have a special look at his ultimate effect as well, and we believe that it is quite a fancy one for a rare skin too. So we're hopefully you guys are very excited. Nice. Next one up is gonna be Kenneth. The second character getting a rare skin in the Matsuri Pass is gonna be Kenneth. And unlike Yuki's festive look, Kenneth's outfit is kind of more refined and elegant, something you kind of see or expect from like a noble or let's say a clan leader. And we believe that this design really gives off a kind of a luxurious vibe with all of these colors. And yeah, we are really excited to show you what colors that the effects are going to be as well. We also have a look at his portrait as well. So yeah, Kenneth's portrait kind of gives a poised, dignified, and also kind of a relaxed feeling as well. But the interesting part about this portrait is that if you look at his hand, there is a kind of a red thread connected to a special somebody too, which is going to be released later in the dev stream. And yeah, it is the red string of fate connected to somebody. Who's it going to be? Also, here is the victory motion. And we also have the lobby motion as well.
귀찮은 건 다 태워버리면 돼.
Yeah, and there it is for Kenneth's skin. But as we said, the red string of fate is always connected to somebody, and it is also directly correlated to our next revealing skin as well. And we're very happy to announce that our next skin is gonna be for Garnet. And yeah, connected with the skin that we just shown, the season pack for the Matsuri Pass is gonna be Garnet. Dressed in a flower-patterned festival outfit, she now wields a Hagoita bat and a traditional-styled Iron Maiden. And plus, her new hairstyle completely transforms her look too. So we're really excited to show off this new kind of look for Garnet as well.
I'm a really big fan of the little face on the right bottom for her jail.
Oh, true. It's actually smiling. I guess he's really happy to come to the festival as well. Okay, yeah, we also have a look at their portrait as well. Yeah, she's holding a very cute umbrella, and also Garnet also has a red thread coming from her hand, gradually turning into change, symbolizing her destined bond with the special somebody too. So while it's bittersweet that she can only enjoy these kinds of happiness in these alternate scenarios, we hope that she will be able to find true happiness with happiness one day. Yeah, with that being said, we also have their animations prepared too, which is gonna be the lobby motion.
가자. 너와 나의 영원한 축제로.
As you can see, Garnet is really inviting us to come into the festival. And yeah, it's a very pretty animation. But we also want to share the highlight of the skin, which is actually going to be very big. It is going to be the victory animation.
It's it's just so good.
Yeah, as you can see, actually, let's watch that one more time. Let's watch that one more time. Oh my god, it's actually peak. It's actually peak. So yeah, you can see Garnet enjoying their time at the festival with their destined one, and we believe that this really gives a very happy feel and like a kind of a romantic ending to one of your games. It's gonna be giving you that romantic feel when you end a game, you win a game with Garnet with this skin as well. Yeah,
which might be a bit difficult.
Why? Why? It's okay. I will play a Garnet game with the skin. I will show you that it's not that hard.
Will you post it? On
Okay,
Twitter?
next skin. Let's go on to the next skin. The next skin is actually a very, very special one as well, because it's gonna be the last skin for the Matsuri Pass, and it's gonna be the second epic skin for the theme too. And it's gonna be PPT's not working again. Oh, yeah, it is gonna be Leon. And yeah, for the first time, Leon's dagger design has actually changed too. And this is on an if world, a kind of like a what if scenario from when Leon is actually freed from the spirits that once possessed her, only to be drawn into new ones under the eerie glow of the whips. So very unlucky girl, but it seems like that even in a what if scenario, Leon can't be left alone. So yeah, here is a good look at her character sheet. And we also have a special character sheet for Leon's counterpart as well, which is gonna be the ghost one too. So even after being freed from the spirits, Leon is still being possessed by something, and yeah, it seems like her misfortune never ends. So if you look at her ghost form, the shifting colors of her outfit kind of echo a nightly feeling, and also radiates kind of like an unsettling and almost chilling presence as well. It's really cool, but it's also really cool when she goes into her full unleashed form, where she puts on her mask too, and she is actually ready to ravish everything around her too. So the outfits, the story behind it, everything is so cool. So I think it's just another reason to buy the season pass. It's so good. You gotta buy it, man. Okay. Now, with that being said, we also have a sneak peek for the portrait as well. She's kind of like caught between being a human and like an Oni, and yeah, with a smile that blurs the line between the two as well. So yeah, with that being said, that brings the end to the introduction of the Matsuri Pass skins, and we hope that everyone is very excited to put on a festival. But before we go, we also want to show off the animations for Leon as well. And yeah, here is the lobby motion for Leon.
수상한 짓은 그만두는 게 좋을 거예요.
Oh, it looks like even though if they're on all kind of like opposite sides, it looks like they are gonna kind of getting along as well. So hopefully we can expect more of these kinds of scenes from Leon as well in the future. And the next one, we have the victory motion as well, which is also gonna be oh my god, it's actually peak too. Yeah, as you can see, both the victory animations for the epic skins are just, it's just peak. Like you just gotta buy the season pack. Like it's too good. It's too good to pass. So yeah, with that being said, we've introduced all of the Matsuri Pass skins, and hopefully you guys are very excited for that. And yeah, before we go on, we'll see this one more time just because I want to see it again, and we'll move on to the other ones. See, it is actually peak. It is actually peak. Okay, next one. We're gonna move on to introducing more of the other parts of the Matsuri Pass too. So yeah, here are all of the profiles, the emojis, or the other goodies that are also with the pass as well. We hope that Lumia Island will really feel like a festival with all these cosmetics, and hopefully you guys are all very excited.
I'm a big fan of the fact that they made Rio the main character for the Give Me emote.
It's so cute. Okay, with that being said, I think we can move on to the next slide, which is gonna be the whole PV for the Matsuri Pass. And yeah, let's have a look of it. I'm gonna turn it on real quick.
It's going to get pretty hot. You'd better stay away from me. You asked for it. Now it's my turn. I will not disgrace this place. I'm not picky about food.
You better stop doing anything suspicious. It was a fun festival.
The red string of fate isn't so easily cut.
Come to our eternal festival, just you and me.
I hope you can feel what I feel too.
This moment, I'll never forget it.
Yep, as you can see, it is absolute cinema. Okay, I hope you guys are all very excited for the Matsuri Pass. We are gonna show you off the key art for the Matsuri Pass as well. So yeah, hopefully you guys are very excited for the new skins, the new concept, and yeah, we will be able to make season 9 a festival of a season. So yeah, we hope you guys are all very excited, and we'll move on to showing you the special webtoon for the festival themed as well. We also, we prepared a special version for our 4-panel comic, and yeah, it looks like it's Matsuri themed as well. But yeah, we'll spare you the voiceover for this time, just because we want you to save your ears. So yeah, with that being said, we'll bring in the voice actors from the previous one next time. Okay. Yeah, so with that being said, I think we can move on to showing you the whole season pack for the Matsuri pack. So yeah, there it is. We had a full look at the season pack, and there's also some sneak peeks for the skins that we're going to show you just right after this as well. So that's going to be shown off for Raven here. But yeah, with that being said, we hope you guys are all very excited, and you guys are ready to purchase the season pack and pay our bills. So yeah, thank you guys so much, and I'll pass it over to Raven.
All right, guys, let's go over the upcoming skins for Season 9. A familiar face, Cadet Felix. Whoa. This is the ranked reward for Season 8, granted to players who achieved gold or higher in the current season. This is going to be the first skin we're revealing for the new season, and true to his casual style, even his cadet uniform isn't really stiff or formal. That balance between the uniform and his personality, it's a pretty cool charm for me. And now here's the portrait that we showed you guys before. The pose really reminds me of like Wukong almost. Yeah,
it does.
And you can get the skin for free by reaching gold in the next 2 weeks.
That is crazy.
Gold or higher, not gold. You don't have to lose your rank.
Did you reach gold this season?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I just messing with him.
So if you haven't done your work yet, now is the time. You got 2 weeks. And now is going to be the next cadet character. And it's going to be Nadine. The skin designer especially wanted to highlight Nadine's healthy, athletic charm. And that vision really shines here. I really enjoyed the wolf and the gold shine on the weapons as well, including the monkey wire trap on the right as well. So a lot of details went into it. And they really wanted to make sure to show one of the legs for reasons. But yeah, with rewards like this, I think a lot of players will be excited to hit gold or higher. And coming next is Part-Timer Cafe Karia. And yeah, it was actually used originally for a offline collaboration, but we saw how popular it was, and we've actually brought it into the game as well. So the charm is really interesting in the fact that she's a very stoic character almost. So the fact that she's working at a cafe as a part-timer is pretty funny. You can also see the details on Karia here using the HourㅅEternal. And this is the portrait. You can see her hair is tied up with the ribbon and she looks really refreshing. And her personality, you can almost imagine her, leaving all the tedious work to the drone while she just sits in the corner and gets money for free. This is another skin that we showed you guys last season, and it's going to be the Yan skin. And when the skin was first revealed, a lot of players actually joked that the white part of the hair was like rice cake, but now Yan is looking more stylish and luxurious. The concept behind this skin was simple, and what if party-loving Yan also had the wealth to match his personality? So that's how we came up with the Yan skin. And you can see the smug expression that he has in his portrait. And upcoming next is going to be a rework of the exam student Hedron. One of the biggest things that I really enjoyed is that in the talisman on the right bottom, it says, "Good luck with your exam" in Korean. So small details like this makes me really enjoy. And a lot of the details actually were adjusted compared to the previous Hedron skin. Remove the bun, please. Oh, but the bun is like a big part in like an exam taker.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's part of the design theme.
And now here is the portrait, and it's showing 1:25 p.m. So it should be right after lunchtime. Right after lunchtime. And yeah, I'm excited for the rework. And whenever I see this skin, I actually feel so old. I actually did the math, and I think the last time I took an exam for school was 6 years ago, 7 years ago.
That's crazy. Unk status.
Yep. All right. Upcoming next is Shaylin's first skin that really highlights her traits. And we really like how the skin came out, especially with the little side slit on her outfit as well. And you can see that being emphasized more on the portrait. And you can see that she has really long and slender blades as well as her heels. So I'm really excited, and I hope you guys are excited for Shaylin as well. And upcoming next is holy moly, a Shukai skin.
Holy moly.
Shukai hasn't gotten a skin in a really long time, and as a gift, Shukai will be receiving a very, very special skin in a very high quality skin. So he will be getting a lot of new animation and effects, and even new voice sounds for the skin. And because of that, he will be a little bit more expensive than the normal price. And here is the portrait. How jolly. So jolly that it's gone beyond Christmas, that it's not just reindeers, it's actually snow deers. And next up is Adriana's skin, where she's a villainess. She'll be getting a sophisticated look with her elegant weaponry on the right of her sheet, right here. And we'll show you the portrait right now. And yeah, I really, really enjoy the striking red throughout the skin. I think it really fits her personality and her. I'm kind of excited to see how the voice matches like the actual outfit as well.
Vibe is immaculate.
And here's Henry's first skin. We don't have a portrait yet, so we'll be showing you guys the sheet, and it's a very elegant gold decoration. And now we're going to be announcing the token skin of season 9, but you guys have probably already seen it, and you guys were given a little hint during the trivia as well. Spirit Hunter EC will be the token skin for season 9. You can see the swords on the right here, all of her collection, and she's going to be joining the stacked roster of Spirit Hunter with their blue tint and variation. And here's the portrait, where she's carrying a unique blend of Eastern and mysterious atmosphere. I'm a big fan of the blue, as well as her very confident smile as she's striking them down. And now that she's a token character, or token skin, we're also going to be releasing a quest book that players can buy, and it's going to be including this lobby screen. So we're going to be showing you guys a sneak peek where she's joined by some of the other Spirit Hunt members as well. And we've actually just realized that it's 2 token skins in the same lobby screen as well.
It's actually peak. Oh my god.
And now that was showing you all the skins for season 9, and there's going to be a bit more that we should let you guys know. That on December 17th, we'll be revealing the collaboration with the other IP. We haven't really talked to you guys much about it because due to licensing agreements, there's some things that we just can't say. And we're going to be having 3 collaboration skins, with 1 being a token skin. But the token will be a different unique token for the collab as well. And because of that, we'll also offer a 3 return of the original token skin as well. So if you actually missed out on these 3 skins, now's your time as well. And along with that, this is going to be covered in the Q&A as well, but I'm just gonna say it right now, and it's that we're going to be adding dance to older collabs, older workshops, or older token skins as well. So it'll take a bit slower, and it won't be with the return of these skins, but the token skins will be getting a dance throughout the duration. And here is a quick preview of a season 10 skin, which is going to be Blair's first skin. We don't have a name for it yet, so I'll just call it Racing Blair, but I'm a really big fan of all the little theme that was actually, this is from like a different game, right? That was actually really requested by players, and they really wanted it in Eternal Return as well. So I'm really glad to see it actually become, true. And now we're going to be moving into the final segment, which is going to be the others and Q&A, where we're going to discuss some questions that you guys may have had, and I'll run by it. So you guys can ask us questions later down after. And I'll talk quickly about global esports and what's going to be happening. Right now, we've been hosting a lot of esports tournament in Korea especially, but we've been trying to have more tournaments be hosted in global as well. So we have the Challengers Cup, ERCC, and it's proven very popular in both seasons 8 and 9 with strong participation rates. So we'll continue holding it, and I hope it can continue to serve as a season-ending tournament. And we have ERCS as well, and it's followed the same format for multiple seasons. So to provide a better experience, we're gonna be preparing a revamp, and details will be shared in a future announcement. And other than that, we've also done Eternal Return Masters Cup for SEA and Japan, which has been a while since we've done Masters for for specific regions actually. And we've also held Japan Cups recently to establish itself as a meaningful competition place for Japanese hardcore players as well. And looking ahead, we plan to further refine and build better structure for global esports. So we hope you guys look forward. And we were also looking into, or hoping, to a global tournament similar to the ones that we held in Busan last time when No Flame was able to participate. But instead of the previous invitation system, we are considering a new model where we have a key regional tournament and the winners are invited to the global stage. And we actually usually don't show you a lot of the offline collaborations that we hold in Korea, But this one was just so cute that I really wanted to show you guys, and it's going to be a collab with Kuburako. Kuburako, yeah. But yeah, you can see Estelle and Lenny as the poster for the collaboration, as well as very, very, very fluffy animals. And now I'm going to be also passing the mic for the next feature.
Okay, so if any global brands, Western markets want to hit us up and do some collabs,
just
call me, call me please.
Yeah. just give them Wendy's Discord, not mine.
Yeah, give me mine, give me mine. Like, I'll get that Red Bull, Red Bull gear. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next part of the Q&A. Next one is a kind of a heavy one, so I will go over this one. So we do want to touch on abnormal gameplay too. So it is a very hard topic to talk about each time. So the most toughest issues is going to be trolling. And it is very hard from our perspective because it is not always very easy to define. But we do want to push to do more stronger enforcement. So we want to make it more to feel like reports do feel meaningful and players do think twice. So since July, we have talking about this in our previous step stream, and we have been pushing more enforcement numbers, as you can see in our see from the graph that we showed here too. And we will be keep working hard to raise them as well. And this also does include the overseas servers as well. I think we did mention this in our depth journal because where in August we had made a 240% increase to our overseas enforcements as well, and we will be compared to June and July. And we will be making our continued strengthen the monitoring to do in the months ahead as well. We do also strongly encourage you guys to send in tickets regarding these kinds of gameplay too. And hopefully, with more evidence and like more information, we will be able to act faster on enforcing these kinds of stuff as well. Also, boosting and hacking is a kind of a more serious matter because in Korea we have actually sent to prosecutors for boosting cases, and they have already been handed over. And we are also making more legal action against cheats as well, because these aren't usually rule breaks. These are actually more of a crimes. These are more crimes. So we will be doing a harder enforcement, and we will be treating them that way. We've also been hitting cheaters with ban waves as well. So we've been doing large coordinated bans. So hopefully these will be able to help with combating the ever-evolving hacks too. And yeah, it is very hard because we know we can't eliminate every problem just overnight, and it is a very hard process to keep up with the number of reports. But we are committed to stronger enforcement and steady progress. And as we done with the previous months after the last step stream, we will be trying to make more progress until the next step stream throughout this season as well. So yeah, we encourage you guys to keep sending in reports regarding this, and we will work harder to make a better, cleaner environment for Lumia Island too as time goes on. So thank you guys, and hopefully we will be able to make more progress this season. Okay. With that being said, I think we can move on to the next part. We are going to be talking about more of the Q&A stuff that we have been gotten through the depth stream surveys. Starting with the gameplay and balance, I will be going over this stuff. So yeah, there have been quite some feedback that have been coming regarding these two issues. The first one being the cooldown reduction changes, because currently feedback on the CDR change is still mixed. And while there are some feedback that say it did brought some good, there is still a lot of feedback that is also did cause a lot of harm. But currently, rolling back the CDR change right now would mean going through another painful stabilization process, which we definitely want to avoid and do not want to kind of give that experience again. So we will be keep refining character balance. We will try and expand item options and focus on strengthening the positives while addressing our shortcomings regarding this matter. So yeah, hopefully we will be able to address this more in future patches and continue to make it better, alleviate the issues. Another second one that came up was about in-game RNG, drops, RNG drops from wild animals, basically. So, and luck in-game is usually all about balance too, because when it's too much, it is negative. But when we drastically reduce it, the feedback was also negative as well. but we are getting a lot of feedback saying the RNG might be a bit too much. So we do believe we're kind of at the state where Diluc is being a bit too overpowered. So we will be reducing the drop rates for special materials from wolves and bears on day 2 to make that first objective feel more rewarding, but we will keep an eye on this and see how it goes. Next one up we had was reliance on certain items. And yeah, there has been some feedback on certain characters relying too much on certain items. And that was mostly, especially regarding the attack speed amp characters that goes items like the Tellurian timepiece. And while this is kind of a niche stat, we will try and look into it to see if we can kind of help this out, and we can try and help this out with new items in the near future. So hopefully we will be able to make this better. And for other kind of roles, we have added some kind of new items this season as well, like the additional tank mythic item in Fafnir, which we'll hope will open up more choices for these kind of roles too. Next one up was the escape system, and about what will happen to the escape system as of now. So we believe a lot of our players were worried about if the escape system actually does play a role right now in the current meta. But with the addition of the Rift, escaping has become much more easier because we have made some changes to make it become much more easier. And overall, as a result, the escape rate has gotten up compared to the previous season, because this season it was around 2.7%, while the previous season was 2.1%. So we believe that it has still a kind of a role in the current gaming. And while it is not a core system, it does remain as a strategic option. So it's going to be as now, but we'll see how it's going to evolve in the future seasons. Another question that came up was healing reduction. And yeah, this was also a very big talking point, but I think we talked about this more previously in today's Step stream too. So yeah, we're working on how to tackle this issue, but we want to also be careful about it to provide not too much chaos. So we'll see how we're going to tackle it. The first initial changes are going to be on Season 10, and we'll see how we'll go beyond that. Let's see. I'm sorry, I'm going to do this. My notes. Okay, so the next question we had was about counter to shields. And regarding this, so what we think is that we usually think that specific mechanics to counter other specific mechanics are not that good in a battle royale format, because what happens is that this mechanic these mechanics can either be too powerful if the other character is too reliant on shields, or it can actually be useless if you're battling a character that actually doesn't have any shields. So it really depends on who you're fighting with, and the power level shifts very rapidly based on that. But we do think that shields being too strong is something we want to avoid. So we are going to be trying to adjust characters like we did to Priya to try and alleviate these kinds of too much shields issues. So we'll keep an eye on it and see how we can tackle these issues. The next one up was about vision items and their strength. And usually vision items are a very key point in Eternal Return. And it is usually built, Eternal Return gameplay is usually built around just like constant movement and like constant movement between objectives. And when doing this, vision is just very crucial in knowing which team is where. And if we reduce their availability or power too much, it risks increasing overall fatigue and stress and kind of situations that our players cannot avoid. So we are approaching adjustments to vision items very carefully, but we do recognize that they are very highly used in fights, especially in the late game. So we'll look at the system and see how we can improve upon it. But it's also a very important part of the gameplay as well. So we'll approach it carefully and see where we can go from there. The next one up is gonna be new map, new area, like these kinds of questions. And yeah, these are always something that we want to do, but usually creating a completely new map takes a lot of time. It takes a big amount of time, but we're always looking to keep Lumia Island fresh. So while the new map is going to take quite some time, we are always looking for ways to make Lumia Island more fresh, and we want to make meaningful changes each season too. So but however, we have gotten some recent expansion to the team, including roles dedicated to map design as well. So hopefully we'll be able to deliver more meaningful updates and variations regarding the maps and areas too. So yeah, we've also made some changes to the map during season 9 as well, as we've introduced earlier in the depth stream. So hopefully they will be fun to play around too. And for season 10, we're also preparing some other changes too, and hopefully they can be enjoyable as well. Yeah. Also for objective and wild animal spawn locations, the first one being objective spawn locations, we did make some changes in 8.5 so that they're much more spread out. But this one is kind of an issue if they're too close together. So if there is a location you think that two are too close, we'll continue to monitor it and see how we can change those stuff. For wild animals, this is the first big adjustment that we're making in 3 seasons, and we believe that it will definitely affect player routes. But we also added the new wildlife map during this season too. So hopefully it will be more easier to adapt. And if there are places that you feel that are maybe too unbalanced or feels kind of off, you can always tell us and give your feedback, and we'll see what we can do. Next one up, we have vision inconsistency with certain terrain. This one is actually not supposed to happen. So if there are places that you believe that there are vision inconsistency because of certain terrain blocking vision, please report it to us, and we'll see what we can do about it. Okay, next one up is balance for new or reworked characters. This one is kind of an issue because usually early stats can kind of be misleading, because when a new character comes out or a reworked character comes out, players try and experiment and optimize their builds, which naturally makes the character stronger over time because players get more used to the mechanics, and yeah, their skill level on that character goes up, even if the base performance hasn't changed. So when we approach this and go and nerf it too quickly based on early numbers, the cycle kind of repeats, because even if we nerf the character before, players are going to be more skillful as time goes on, and the character will become stronger just by time. So, and after that happens, another nerf follows. So this kind of cycle continues when we always do these new character updates or reward character updates. So going forward, since we are more knowledgeable about this kind of cycle, we will try and take this pattern into account and try and respond more proactively and try and balance with the expectation that performance will rise as players refine their strategies and settle more into the character. Okay, next one up is for multi-weapon characters. This one was also something that we talked, like the healing reduction stuff. And yeah, there were mostly feedback that we should reduce them. But as we said before, we will look at these characters, and if there are weapon types that we see that are deemed that are too samey with one another, we'll see what we can do about that too. Okay, last one up on gameplay and balance. The last one up is the balance patch focus. So we want to talk a bit about stats. So what happens? So when you see esports, usually the balance in the esports places usually mirrors what we can see in the top 1,000 range. And there are characters that may perform okay or kind of like okay in like the mid or lower tiers. They become very clear problems in the top 1,000 games. So it's not very consistent over a large variety of tiers. And also, on the other hand, there are characters that rarely show up in like esports or the top 1,000, but they are very strong in the lower tiers as well. And these characters will then break the lower tier ecosystem if we buff them. So what we'll have to do is that whether it's the top 1,000 bracket or whether it's the lower bracket, across all of these tiers, if there is a character strong enough to disrupt the ecosystem in either direction, we consider that grounds for adjustment and do patches accordingly. So there aren't very one side that we only look at, and we will have to look at the whole ecosystem to balance things out. Yeah, with that being said, I think that is all of the Q&A for the gameplay and balance that we have prepared. So I will toss it over to Raven, and he will move on to the next part.
I'll go into test subject, skins, and story. I'm also seeing a lot of questions brought up in the chat. We'll have a separate Q&A session with the chat after we go over the prepared ones. The prepared questions are the ones that were sent to you guys by the survey. So we try to collect as many as we can. You can see on my screen that I try to collect as much as I can, but I'll go over them as quickly as possible, so we don't hold up too much time until you guys actually ask your own questions. So the first one was that about simple kits in recent releases, and it was basically about saying some characters are actually too simple or the kits are just way too easy. And the thing is that we don't start by deciding whether a new character skill set should be simple or complex. As long as it's not overly simple or like needlessly complicated, what we value more is how the skills synergize with each other, as well as what kind of role the character will be playing in the team strat. And the next one was for a request for slower character releases. I think it was more about how players wanted us to focus on the other stuff, such as balance or more in-game stuff rather than character releases. And the thing is, at the moment, it's actually getting kind of hard to make new characters unique compared to the other characters that are already in Eternal Return. Maybe we can look into fine-tuning character kits and reworks if we do end up slowing down. And the next one was lack of skill visual clarity. And this is brought up quite often, and we've been working on it. We've been trying to make, show different colors for each team or have different ground effects. And we've been actually making different skills separately, try to see how we can make it more visually clear. But if you see some skills that are really, really hard to see, just let us know in feedback and suggestion, because we do prio ones that are a lot more urgent as well. And we've had people ask for care for characters impacted by system changes. For example, something small would be basically Lead Island losing the drinks. And this is something that we do try to look into, and sometimes when we do miss it, we'll try to touch it through balance as much as we can. And if there's anything that we missed, just please let us know and we'll get to it right away. And I'm still seeing some questions. We'll get to you guys after the prepared questions. So the next one was utility gap between old and new characters. And this is actually really interesting because we've had questions and questions sent from players from both sides talking about utility about old characters or new characters. And we've also had simple kits, but this is something that we'll try our best to balance as well. It's not easy. And we had a lot of criticism and questions about rework as well. I think we did a segment earlier about character reworks, but we will try to make sure that players that already play the character and love the character can keep playing their character without having it be overhauled as well. And that's going to be the big focus. Dance being added for old token skins. This was really, really requested. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to do it. We're going to be adding dance to the old token skins, but it'll take longer than we kind of want, but we'll let you know how the progress and the roadmap looks like down the road. And people also asked about specific criteria for epic tier skins. And yeah, I think epic skins are pretty important to us right now. It's actually 80% of our salary, or not salary, sorry. 80% of our income as a company is actually from epic skins at the moment. So we try to see which characters would suit an epic skin first. I think that's the most important, but we also see what kind of characters are being loved by our users as well. But on the other side, we're trying to give skins to variety of characters as well. That's why we also, this time Magnus won the vote, so Magnus was given, and we tried our hardest as well. People also questioned if there's going to be more themed skins, and yeah, I mean, you saw the Hisui skin earlier. We'll be doing a lot more theme skins, as well as making some stories and scenarios and lore about the skin theme as well. And people asked to revamp old characters and skin models. We showed Aiden's visual changes a bit in the animation, and we'll be doing small visual changes like that down by the road. But when we have time, we'll look into it more as well. But at the moment, it is not the highest priority, so we're doing it bit by bit. People also asked about overly limited duration to gain skins. So this would be like event skins and people not having enough time to buy limited skins. And we'll look into it, and we'll try to see how we can give you guys chances to get old event skins that you guys may have missed or may miss in the future. And we've also had a few questions about JP, and some people asked to release JP even maybe without the hacking part. if it means JP releasing. But I think the whole concept of JP is just centered around him being like a genius hacker. So bringing him out without hacking actually being ready or having something, I don't think that's something that we would want to do as someone that also just loves the IP as well. And people also asked if we are considering legendary tier skin. So it would be a tier above epic skin. But to be fair, the Garnet skin and the Lian skin, because of the high amount of work, a lot of time went into their animations, as you guys probably saw. So yeah, we'll think about putting legendary tier skins later down the road, maybe. But if we do, I think we'll be making sure that we can take care of the skin, and we'll maybe when we have more time. And people asked about the lore and lack of lore, but yeah, that's going to be coming in the upcoming seasons with the theater. So we hope you guys are excited as well. And people asked about relations between test subjects, similar to the original story, and yeah, you'll see a bit more story through the comics, but you can also see the relation between Kenneth and Garnet even more throughout next season. So we'll prepare small things like that, and we'll continue to do so. Now, it's going to be about items, events, and marketing. We've had a lot of questions about global marketing as well, so I wanted to touch on that. Marketing in the West has been asked throughout a lot of seasons, and we understand why, definitely. There's definitely a limit in the reach that we can get as a company at the moment. We do try different types of marketing every season, though. For season 8, we actually had a lot mid-rolls within YouTube videos for a list of creators that were primarily focused on League of Legends. And in previous seasons, we also did sponsored streams as well as mini stream tournaments and such. And we've been trying to see what kind of marketing push would be the most suitable and where our best chance would be at. And while pulling in players was hard, retaining the players was actually even harder for us at the moment. And even for other games, we're really successful and great at marketing, such as Supervive. They did a really great job with marketing, but overall, we have to learn how to do marketing similar to them. But this is why we are also investing in the machine learning AI bots as well. It's something that we want to make sure we have a strong enough concrete for these new players, and make sure that we can actually keep the new players that we bring in with the marketing. But yeah, we will continue to try different types of method, such as mid-rolls on YouTube videos or just traditional advertisements or even streams as well. But yeah, we apologize. I feel like I've been saying the same thing since how long, but it is true that we've been spending more budget within the global marketing as well. And we also had a lot of criticism against Season Collection, and understandably so. So as previously discussed, we will be fixing a lot of the balancing issue that we had with it, and we'll be giving out a lot more vouchers from in-game play. And we had a lot of criticism about the second anniversary quest book as well, because in the first year, we actually gave it out for free, but this one was actually only free for players that had already bought the season pack. But we do regret that decision, so next time we will make sure for any kind of event promotions like that, we will offer for free instead of trying to offer it through MP. And addition to achievements, this will be added soon as down the road through story content as well. And people ask for additional usage methods for emotes and sprays, and I think the emotes was actually we have it in the in-game lobby now, so players can use that. Sprays, we'll continue to look at it and we'll see where we can add, but yeah, sprays is and the request for more merch. We created a lot of merch for second anniversary, and we'll see what else we can do. I mean, similar to this one, yeah. And for details regarding IP expansion, including collabs, as we stated, we can't really tell you right now, but we will be doing collabs in Season 9 and Season 10 in games, and we'll have skins come out. But yeah, we'll let you guys know more on December 17th as well. And people asked about web events. I will continue to do web events, but the issue with web events a lot of the time was that people that are in game sometimes couldn't see where the event was being held. So if you're allowed, or if you can actually just put it in, in game instead, we've been putting it in game instead. And nerfed drop rewards. Oh, this is about Twitch drops, and or for Korea, there's other regions, other platforms as well. But the fact was that there were just too many ways people can actually abuse. It's a small number of people, but they would find out a way to abuse the system. So they would get a lot of MP at once to buy larger rewards such as season packs. And once they revealed it on in the community, a lot of people were able to follow it as well. So we unfortunately had to kind of stabilize the drops to what we originally intended. So we apologize about that. And regarding return of previous limited skins, well, we'll be getting the token skins come back as well, but we'll also see how we can give players more options as well. But regarding cadet skin, we don't have any intention at the moment for return as well. And players ask for new emotes, and we're trying our best, I think. We've been releasing a lot of new emotes every patch, so we've been trying. If you guys have any ideas for a good emote as well, you can just use Discord and let us know. And now it's about roadmap and season planning, and we had requests for a season for fine tuning, and a lot of players, when they were actually asking this question, gave us examples of Apex, who do really big season changes in 1 year, and this was actually something that was brought internally before. We had some game designers and some other co-workers that brought up the design ideas, but in the end, similar to what I discussed earlier on, that's what we're going to be doing, where we don't shake it up as much for the first regular seasons, and then we'll have one innovative season, similar to season 1, where it's a lot of new changes coming all at once. And similar to that, people asked, will the base gameplay loop change? And depending on the season, if it's regular or innovative, I think that would depend, but innovative seasons might change the gameplay loop, but we'll do it in a way where it's respectful to the players. And players also asked about maintaining the main mode and the new ones, and it was about how we've had a lot of new modes come out in recent time. So people asked if it's hard to balance or not, but at the moment it's been fine, and we'll be still focusing on the main mode for balancing as well. So people also asked, will duos come back? And this was a pretty popular topic because solos came back, so will duos come back? And well, it's not confirmed, but we are looking into it and to a different mode, perhaps. We'll try to see how we can bring it in, but it might not be something that we'll let you know. It's in the pipeline. We're thinking about it. We're thinking about it. Is the thing, yeah. And people also asked about PvE, but that is on the other side, not on the pipeline at the moment. But we've been thinking about it, but it's not in the pipeline yet. And people asked, well, if we're gonna bring back the roadmap site, and well, we have our web page right now with the roadmap stuff, but for the timelines and stuff like that, we're not sure when we should be showing or how we can actually really show well the changes that's coming out with the timeline. So we'll do an internal discussion and we'll see how we can actually figure that out. But it's always been a task to see if YouTube, SNS, and stuff like that are how it's best to show our new features to the players. And players also asked about WASD control and other platform supports. And the WASD control was really popular question because of a recent change from another nearby game. But yeah, we saw that it was added into the other game first, so we'll see how that works, and we'll also, and then we'll maybe think about it from there on.
Okay, with that being said, I think we will move on to the last part of the Q&A that we have prepared here before we move on to the chat Q&A. It's going to be about the tutorial, the new player experience, and some of the other questions that you guys have given us. Yeah, so the first one up is going to be the entry barrier caused by crafting. And although crafting is a very big entry barrier for new players, a lot of our players do consider it as a very special part of the game. So while crafting epic equipment is kind of a bit easier due to the save plan system, we do think that the legendary gear, kind of like the choosing part and the crafting part, is a still bit more harder. So we have simplified a lot of the crafting for legendary gear in Season 9, and we'll see how that goes and see how we can improve upon it. We've also gotten a lot of feedback about the game being too much complex because with the gadgets and all of that stuff, the control scheme has been gotten a bit more complex. And while new systems are very important for a game's growth, we also do know that, do kind of understand that too much complexity can hurt the experience as a whole. So we'll keep looking at both of the existing and the new systems to find ways to kind of ease the overall control burden. And we did kind of experiment that with the auto-consumption system that we are bringing in this season to kind of make the game a bit more burden-free while also being enjoyable to play. So we'll look into kind of like those ways and see how we can introduce more features that are going to make the game more feel less complex but more enjoyable. Tutorial rework, I'm sorry. Yeah, we talked about this previously today too, and our current schedule is having a renewal on Season 10. And while it is hard to show off all of the game mechanics in ER, because ER is a very complex game, in just one tutorial, it's not going to be easy, but we'll try and think of better ways to try and give these informations to our players so that it is kind of easier to ease into the game too. So our current tutorial renewal is planned on Season 10, but we'll also find other ways too. Optimization, this one we were able to share some good news today, and yeah, we hope that the changes that we made this season will help you get a much more better optimization experience. Bugs. So yeah, bugs are also something that comes up with game development because usually code and live service games inevitably become very complex over time. And when multiple interconnected systems pile up, new features are added, legacy code accumulates, like it's just very hard to avoid that spaghetti code situation. And we are trying to increase our focus on refactoring to make the situation better. And yeah, this one is just something that we will have to keep working on, and we will try and improve to provide you a better bug-free, we can't say bug-free, a less buggy experience while playing Eternal Return. We'll work hard. We'll see what we can do. Okay, next one up is the replay system being unstable. And this one is usually caused because the replay system inevitably have to stay in a less priority state compared to the actual in-game stuff that goes into the game. And during seasons or periods where we are focused more on in-game issues, the replay system has to suffer because we are focused someplace else, and it really can't get the love if we're very occupied. But after the in-game part stabilizes more, I believe we will be able to put more resources into the replay system too, and hopefully we can provide a better experience for this one as well. Okay, next one up is going to be about the engine update. I think we kind of talked about some of this on the optimization part too. So we began targeting our next engine update for the next Unity LTS version as our goal. And usually engine updates are a very major undertaking, and yeah, so this is usually something that we can only do every 2 to 3 years. So updating an engine is a big part of doing something for us. So we've been practicing with a couple of interim versions internally before locking in, and as we said, we are currently targeting the 6.3 LTS version, which is set to release in early November. And we believe that if everything stays on track, we will be able to apply this update sometime around Season 10. And hopefully, yeah, optimization will be able to get better too. Okay, community feedback. Yeah, this one we're gonna close all of the prepared questions with this one out. And I just wanted to talk about community feedback from the community. And yeah, community feedback is always very important to us, and we try to look at many as we can. We've done the depth journals, we got in the depth surveys, we look into the feedback section on our Discord, and yeah, we really want to get as much feedback as possible. And I do understand that some of the players might feel a bit sad that we aren't able to leave like a lot of the comments on the feedback section, but please understand that we are very working hard to implement a lot of these stuff into the game, and we really appreciate the feedback. And yeah, we're trying to implement as much as we can, even though we're not be able to leave a lot of the comments. And we'll see. Yeah, because always any idea that can try and push our game to a better state is really valuable for us. So we encourage you to continue to let us know your options and feedback on all matters. And yeah, with these kinds of cooperation with us together, I hope that we will be able to make Eternal Return even better. So please leave your feedback, and yeah, hopefully we will be able to implement as much as possible, and we will be able to make a better season as for times to come. Yeah, with that being said, I think that is all we have prepared for today's PPT. And yeah, thank you so much for listening to this long PPT. And yeah, before we end, I think we can do a short chat Q&A like we always do before we end. And yeah, that is it. I think we can move on to the... Yeah. Oh, sorry. Oh my God. I think we can pan the camera out. The camera, 빼주. Okay, I think we can start with the chat Q&A again. Oh my face is so big on the camera. Oh my God, I hate it so much. Okay, let's go into chat. Let's see. I think you can start it off. I'll go read the chat too.
Can you make the player count show up on the normal queue for South American server? This is the only queue that doesn't have the counter.
We'll look into this. We'll see if we can add it in. I think this is something we can do. So let's look into it.
Okay. Would it be possible to add back auto reload animations to non-gun users as a cosmetic thing and not a gameplay? 그 장전 애니메이션을 그 혹시 약간 그 게임 플레이 쪽이 아니고 약간 춤처럼 넣을 수 있을지 물어보 주셨는데 가능하실까요? 장전 애니메이션이라고 하셔가지고 그때 이제 자동 그 예를 들어서 그 돌소가 장전을 할 때 애니메이션을 보여주거나 아니면 뭐 권총에 이제 그 장전을 할 때 그런 모션들을 보고 싶다. 근데 이제는 저희가 장전이 없어서 그 모션이 없는데 혹시 인게임에서 이제 춤처럼 넣을 수 있냐라고 물어봐 주셨는데요.
근데 뭐 그 춤처럼 단축키가 부여되기는 좀 애매할 것 같고 이제 뭐 춤의 일부나 아니면 뭐 그 기존에 모션을 출력하는 게 춤밖에 없어서 좀 애매할 것 같은데 어떻게 구현할 수 있을지가 좀 애매한 부분인 것 같습니다.
Unfortunately, at the moment, the only controls that would allow animation to play is the dance. So we would have to think about where we would actually place it, and it would be a bit of a spec, but we're not sure how we would actually include that in the game.
Are you going to add more MMD models? Yes, we are definitely open to adding more MMD models, and it will be continue to be added through future updates. So let's see. Wait, the chat is moving so fast. Have you guys thought on making a character that isn't human? 그 인간 아닌 위주의 캐릭터 만들 생각이 있으신지?
이미 이제 그 꼬리도 있고 네. 인간이 아닌 캐릭터들을 조금씩 많이 시도해보고 있습니다. 네.
Okay, we are trying to experiment on characters like Fenrir that have more of like monster / animal type characteristics. So we'll experiment with that and we'll see how it goes.
When will Cadet 현우 be re-released? 차관 현우 이터니티 스킨이 혹시 복각할 건지 물어봐 주시는 유저가 있어가지고요.
복각을 하진 않을 거고요. 네, 지금 이제 기존 이터니티 보상을 대신 주면서 뭔가 그 이제 회수해서 당시의 사관 후보생과 동일한 취급을 하는 부분들을 좀 고민하고 있고요. 근데 아직 이건 좀 내부 논의 중인 부분입니다.
This is something that it won't be returned in the traditional sense, but we'll be actually looking into how we can bring it back, but it's something that we've said is possible before, so we'll look into it after internal discussion.
Can you make character alt abilities more distinct? Other games does it well when it's more obvious when someone does an alt. 그 어떤 특정한 캐릭터가 그 어떤 스킬 쓸 때 그 다른 게임들은 조금 더 이제 그 강조를 해준다고 하는데 혹시 그러한 기능을 넣어줄 수 있는지. 가시성 이슈.
네, 가시성은 계속해서 증가시켜야 될 부분인 것 같고요. 보통은 이제 이 제일 지금 주력하고 있는 거는 저희가 같은 실험체가 등장할 수 있는 게임이다 보니 이제 비슷한 같은 궁극기가 겹쳐졌을 때 뭐 이럴 때를 좀 가시성을 증가시키는 걸 지금은 우선 포커싱을 하고 있습니다. 네. 하지만 그 전반적인 가시성, 루크 큐의 뭐 이렇게 이 크기, 투사체 크기를 늘린다던가 이런 전반적인 가시성 개선 작업은 계속해서 진행되고 있습니다.
Visibility in fights are very important to us, and we are focusing more on doing visual cues first, so that it is much more easier to see, like when there are two same characters on your team and the opposing team. We're trying to make the visibility much more easier. While visibility fights are very important as we are facing stuff like that, I think this is something that we can look into in the future, but we will be focusing on that for now.
Is it possible to add a hold button to continue craft build for people with higher pings to help them on item building progression? 지금 저희가 제작할 때 아이템을 이제 제작했을 때 또 한 번 더 제작 버튼을 눌러야 되는데 옵션을 해서 꾹 눌렀을 때 다른 아이템도 계속 만들 수 있게 설정 추가가 가능할지 물어봐 주신 것 같아요. 핑이 높을 때는 이제 제작할 때마다 그 애니메이션을 하다 보니까 그냥 꾹 눌러서 제작을 가능하게 하는 버튼이 추가될 수 있을지.
그건 한번 전달해 보겠습니다. 네.
We'll deliver that to the team.
니나 리바인드. 그 클로의 니나 단축키 바꾸게 할 수 있는, 움직이는 거 단축키 바꾸게 할 수 있는지 혹시.
네, 그러니까 질문을 보니까 이제 엔진 업데이트와 함께 이 부분이 되느냐라는 질문이었던 것 같은데, 엔진 업데이트를 한다고 바로 다 되는 건 아니고 이제 하지만 엔진 업데이트가 유니티 6의 버전업이 되면은 이제 이런 부분들을 저희가 착수를 할 수 있게 됩니다. 지금은 아직 아예 착수를 못하는 상태인 거고, 네. 그래서 이 유니티 엔진 업데이트 이후에 착수할 수 있는 우선순위가 있는 여러 가지 그 기능들이 있는데 마우스 커서 조정이라던가 이런 몇 가지 기능들이 있는데 그 중에 하나가 이제 그 키 바인딩을 좀 더 자유롭게 하는 부분도 포함될 것 같습니다.
I think if we do the engine update, it will open up more and more possibilities to do different kind of stuff, such as the changing your mouse cursor size or switching up keybinds. We believe that can be possible as we move on to the engine update. But since doing the actual update is a priority right now, we believe that after we do that, we'll be able to see our possibilities, see our priority list, and do stuff like the Nina Rebind in the future.
Will we be able to adjust the size of the ability HUD or minimap in the future? 미니맵이나 스킬 그런 UI들을 사이즈를 조정할 수 있게 변경될 예정인지 물어봐 주셨습니다.
네, 그것도 이제 엔진 업데이트 이후에 가능할 수 있는 부분인데 아마 근데 그거는 그거 자체로도 굉장히 스펙이 크기 때문에 방금 말한 리스트들보다는 좀 더 뒤가 될 것 같습니다.
With the engine update, we'll be able to actually do something like that, but the amount of spec going into it would be pretty large. So we'll actually have to see, but it's likely not as prioritized as the other things that was discussed earlier on.
Can there be something to see our augment stats after a match in game? You can see how much healing damage etc that they gave you, but after a match those stats aren't viewable. 그 게임 끝나고 나서 특성이 이제 얼마나 데미지 넣었는지 이런 거 확인할 수 있는 방법을 나중에 추가할 수 있는지에 대해서 여쭤봤습니다.
이제 이게 뭐 썸을 보여드리는 것들은 가능할 것 같은데 개별 특성을 하나하나 이제 보여드리기는 좀 쉽지는 않을 것 같고 UI나 뭐 이런 부분들 덕분에 뭐 이제 플레이나 이런 쪽에서 좀 확인하는 것도 일단 가능한 방법일 것 같고 하지만 이제 결과 쪽에서 통계를 좀 더 세분화하고 더 많이 강화하는 부분들에 대해서는 이제 저희도 이제 진행할 계획이 있습니다.
It believes that like for showing more stats in game, it's gonna be a bit hard because of the UI. But we believe that we do have plans to try and give more information after the post results screen. We can probably be able to give more stats on that screen too. So yeah, that is something that we can try and do in the future, and hopefully we can do.
Just quickly, someone asked, will international phone numbers be valid for the Asia ranked verification system? And yes, this was discussed. You will be able to use global numbers for that system. And have you considered advertising in person at conventions, game expos, and etc.? 약간 컨벤션처럼 뭐 TGS나 그런 것처럼 참여할 생각이 있는지 그 약간 영어권 쪽에서도 물어봐 주신 것 같아요.
네. 좋은 기회가 있다면 얼마든지 참여하고 싶은 부분이고 저희가 뭐 이제 거리와 시간과 비용과 이런 부분들이 아무래도 이제 한국과 일본은 가깝지만 좀 더 멀기 때문에 저기 태국에서도 저희가 참여를 했었고 이제 이런 몇 군데 외국에서 참여한 사례들이 있는데 지금까지는 아시아권 위주가 되고 있는 것 같습니다. 하지만 저희도 북미와 유럽 등에서 더 많은 플레이어분들과 만나고 싶고 그런 기회가 좀 있으면 참여를 할 수 있도록 하겠습니다. 참고로 이제 TGS 같은 경우에는 한국 정부 이제 지원이 좀 있어서 그런 부분들에서 어떤 케이스였고 저희가 혼자 가기에는 게임쇼가 좀 많이 비싸긴 합니다.
Firstly, we would love to, if there's ever a good opportunity, we would really love to meet you guys out there as well. But the truth is that there's quite a bit of distance and the cost and a lot of time invested into going into an expo. So while it's something we're interested in and we've been doing it, especially in the other nations in Asia, we've done TGS recently as well in Japan. It is much closer, to be fair. But yeah, for TGS, we've also actually got a bit of funding from the government, actually. So once we have a good opportunity to do expos or conventions, perhaps in further countries as well, we can participate. But yeah, we would love to. We want to. If there's an opportunity, like please invite us.
Please invite me. I want to go. Okay, next one. Regarding the story lore you guys showed earlier, will we get unique live 2D or arts once we reach certain chapters that we view on it?
저희 스토리 컨텐츠 관련해서 오늘 소개했는데 혹시 그거 관련해서 다 깨거나 아니면 중간중간에 라이브 2D나 이제 그런 새로운 아트워크 같은 거 보여주실 계획 있으신지?
네, 스토리 모드가 오래 걸린 이유는 아트워크 때문이죠. 네, 그래서 그런 일러스트나 이런 것들이 추가될 예정이고요. 네, 라이브 2D가 적용될지는 잘 모르겠습니다. 어쨌든 일러스트와 이 풀 보이스 성우와 뭐 이런 부분들이 이제 추가될 예정입니다.
Yeah, we are definitely planning to add artwork to the story and lore system. We're not really sure if it's gonna be live 2D, but it is the reason it took so long in the first place is because we wanted to add new art to show off new artwork. So we are definitely be able to show you more visual stuff with the system coming in too. Oh, will we get updates to old token skin dances? I think we talked about this earlier, but yes, they are going to be added in the future. We don't have a specific set schedule because we will have to plan it out, but yes, they will be getting their dances as well.
Will we get updates to old token skin dances? This was discussed earlier, and yes, we'll be adding dances to the old token skins, but we're not really clear about the timeline, so we'll let you guys know later down the road. And for questions about, we usually say this before the Q&A, but this time we forgot. We can't answer specific questions, or we can't answer specific questions about characters, because if we do, then there'd be way too many questions that we would have to cover. And so at the moment, is it just the token skins or all epic skins? 이번에 제작소 스킨들 옛날 거에 춤이 추가되는데 다른 영웅 스킨들에도 혹시 춤 추가할 생각이 있는지 물어봐 주셨네요.
춤은 제작소 스킨에만 추가될 예정입니다.
At the moment, no. Only token skins are the goals for the dance, and not all epic skins, but just token skins.
Is there any discussion to discuss ELO inflation in overseas servers? I think this is something that we talked a bit about when we talked about the matchmaking system, but the overseas ladder definitely has issues with like not just ELO inflation, but a lot of issues, and usually those issues stem from not having enough players to populate the ladder. And yet we are trying to do some matchmaking adjustments each patch to try and alleviate the issues, but we definitely understand that does not help solve the core issue. So while it is a issue that we want to solve in the long run, we will have to make a very solid building blocks to kind of make the whole environment better, to kind of alleviate the situation as a whole. So we will be adding stuff like the machine learning bots. We will doing the normal ranked separation to try and give a better starting environment for these kinds of servers. And hopefully, as we are able to do that, and as more players come into the ladder, we'll be able to provide a better ranked experience. It is going to take some time, and this doesn't mean that we're not going to do anything about it. We will keep finding ways to see if there's any ways to alleviate it. And if you guys have any feedback for us to try and out, we will also be open to that as well. So yeah, we hopefully will be able to address a lot of these issues in the future as we implement new stuff and as time goes on.
You guys added a random announcer option somewhat recently. Do you think it would be possible to make an option for language selection under it? I like the variety for my announcers, but sometimes they're useless because I don't speak the language the game picked. 어나운서 랜덤 옵션이 있는데 거기서 이제 언어 쪽 관련해서도 옵션이 혹시 추가될 수 있는지 물어봐 주셔가지고
특정 언어만 랜덤으로 하고 싶다라는 이 부분은 필요한 기능이라고 보여져서 전달하겠습니다.
Yeah, this seems like an important feature, so we'll let the team know.
Is there any reason non-KR servers can't stack in platinum this late into the season? This was due to because usually the padding for the overseas servers are very, very large, and these were implemented due to at least trying to protect a few of the integrity for the ladder. But we will try and see if we can get more feedback about this too, and see if this is better for the situation. If we think this is better for the situation, we'll try and to see ways how we can try and change these kinds of borders, let's say, in the future too, in the upcoming season too.
How are we going about keeping depth in the game now that a lot of the older mechanics have been removed or heavily reduced, as easy may make the game more accessible, but that is what keeps the players in my opinion. 이번에 이제 새로운 그 예전 피처들을 조금씩 이제 뭐 예를 들어 스태미나 그런 것들을 삭제하면서 조금 게임들이 더 쉬워지고 있는데 혹시 그 부분들을 이제 저희가 어떻게 좀 더 이제 약간 하드코어한 부분들에 조금 없어지는 거에 좀 아쉬운 부분들이 있는 것 같아요. 해가지고 이제 저희가 조금 더 게임을 쉽게 만드는데 약간 depth, 조금 더 깊이를 어떻게 추가할 건지에 대해서 아니면 그런 생각이 있는지에 대해서 물어봐 주신 것 같아요.
네, 저희는 항상 이제 매 시즌 이제 뎁스도 늘리는 부분도 있고 뎁스가 줄어드는 부분도 있고 어느 정도는 그렇게 균형이 중요하다고 생각을 하고 있고요. 이번 시즌에도 추가되는 뎁스가 없진 않습니다. 보리라는 어떤 새로운 야생동물이 추가되었고 새로운 패턴을 가지고 있기 때문에 기존과는 이제 다른 플레이에 다른 변주를 줄 수 있는 부분이 될 것 같고요. 이번 시즌에는 특히 좀 디테일의 영역에서는 좀 바뀐 게 꽤 많이 있어요. 야생동물의 위치라던가 이런 기존에 만들었던 시스템의 어떤 그 작동 방식에서 문제가 되던 부분들을 수정한 부분도 많이 있고요. 네, 그래서 사실 대체로는 뎁스가 항상 많아서 어떻게 좀 더 줄일 수 있을까라는 제안에서 많이 받긴 하는 것 같습니다. 네.
Firstly, it is an important thing that we do try to see or have a balance between depth as well as removing some of the mechanics that have been in the game to become more accessible for new players or even other players. But even for this season, for example, Bori is a new mechanic that's going to be added to the game, and it's going to be something that's going to be adding depth. So we're not only just trying to remove mechanics that may add depth into the game, but every season we're also trying to add something new or something to add more hardcore or more depth in the game as well. But yeah, we're trying.
Okay, I think we can take one or two more questions. Let's see here. Any chance test taker Hyejin gets to keep its original hair version as a different skin or something? 그 이번에 혜진 스킨 리워크된 거 관련해서 혹시 이전 머리가 정말 마음에 들었는데 혹시 다른 스킨에서라도 비슷한 그 버전이 나올 수 있는지에 대해서 물어보시네요.
그러니까 헤어 스타일이 마음에 든다라는 부분이라면 네, 얼마든지 뭐 가능한 부분일 것 같습니다.
While we can't bring back the exact same design that we have done for the previous, we can't like bring back the old design for the same theme for the skin. But if it's the hairstyle, hair version, I think we can. If you really liked it that much, I think we can try and see if we can bring it back in future skins for Hyejin.
What's your favorite skin in ERBS? 이터널 리턴에서 제일 좋아하는 스킨이 어떤 스킨인지 물어봐 주신 것 같은데 이거는 Wendy, do you want to answer, Wendy? What's your favorite skin in ERBS?
Honestly, recently I have really enjoyed the Reaper Luke skin. The Green Reaper Luke skin was actually really good, and I actually picked up Luke a lot more after that skin came out. So I think currently that one is my favorite.
Someone asked, where can we find our community manager? You can find us on Discord. And I saw the question, is there any reason non-KR servers can't 3-stack in Platinum this late into the season?
Oh, I answered that.
Oh, sorry. All right, we'll take one more question.
Okay, this doesn't count, but when do we get Wolf 1 and Wolf 2 cameos in game? But we do have cameos in game. They're in every Wolf pack.
Gender bender skins. 그 성별을 바꾸는 스킨이 나올 수 있는지 물어봐 주신 것 같습니다.
뭐 이제 플레이어분들이 많은 플레이어분들이 좋아해 주신다면 모든 가능성은 열려 있는 것 같습니다.
There's potential if a lot of players want it.
현재 제작 중인 스킨 중에는 없습니다. 네.
But nothing in the pipeline at the moment.
Let's see. I think we'll take one more before we end. Last questions.
All right. Seems like we can wrap it up.
Okay, when does John get an AR? Never. Okay, I have closed that opportunity. That is done.
All right.
Okay, I think with that being said, I think we can end the Q&A for today. And yeah, that is gonna be the end of the dev stream for today. Thank you all guys for joining in today as always. And yeah, we hope that the changes and the improvements that we have shown you today will really help in the upcoming seasons. And hopefully we will be able to bring you a better season next season as well. And as always, thank you guys so much for sticking with us. I say this every time on the dev stream, but I mean it every time too. Thank you guys always for sticking with Eternal Return and playing and having so much fun in Eternal Return. So yeah, with that being said, I think we can take some ender notes from the other two too before we close out.
Yeah. Thank you guys for sticking with us always. I know I always say that, and it's been a very busy season, and we're excited for the next season as well. It's been fun preparing. I didn't even get to shower, as you can probably tell by my hair. I apologize to Wendy because he has to actually smell me next to him. So it's always an honor, and we'll see you guys in 3 months as well. And last but not least, Wolf 1.
Thank you, Lazy, for playing Eternal Return, and yeah, please enjoy our next season. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for enjoying Eternal Return. And yeah, we'll see you guys next dev stream. With that note, we'll close it out. Bye, guys.
It's going to get pretty hot. You better stay away from me. You asked for it. Now it's my turn. I will not disgrace this place. I'm not picky about food.
You better stop doing anything suspicious. It was a fun festival.
The red string of fate isn't so easily cut. Come to our eternal festival, just you and me. I hope you can feel what I feel too. This moment, I'll never forget it.